the Sneaky Leak Pod. This is the Sneaky Leak Pod, and we are now in the Collab Lab with Bimma Williams, everyone. Let's give it up for Bimma.
Thank you for the intro.
No problem. I am your host, Henny.
I'm your other host, Janelle.
And I am Elaina.
And before we get started, as always, we are a few days away from the new year. Yes, hopefully by now we'll be at 10K.
We better be.
If not, we are still on the road to 10K. So regardless, go ahead and follow us.
We're so close.
Let's check the
Let's
numbers.
get there. Let's
Regardless.
We
almost
are
there.
About
450 away.
There we go.
Come
There
on
we
now.
go.
We're almost there.
450 away.
We believe in you guys. So go ahead and follow us.
We believe
oh
in
my
us
God,
too.
Fritz, where did you come from? Oh my God. Oh Lord Jesus.
Okay, guys. Let's get up here.
Yes,
Please.
Get to your places.
Please.
Positions, please.
Cameras are on.
Please.
Come on.
If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe on there as well. Sneaky Link Pod. Audio platforms, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Sneaky Link Pod. This is also our last episode before the new year, so take it all in. We know you're gonna miss us. We'll see y'all in a few weeks. And also follow us so you know when we're coming back.
Yes.
Because I don't know yet. But
This is our first full year doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
This is our first full year.
you.
That is
True.
Wow.
We've had
Wow, I forgot. Dang.
definitely from beginning to end.
Yeah.
We've been
Yeah.
recording consistently. This is episode 63. Yeah.
Yes.
63. You know, it's really funny. Not always off topic, me and my freaking brain. Go
ahead.
So Brandon's brother, we had a friend Easy on for episode 60, and his brother last night was like, "Did you guys put him on episode 60 on purpose?" And I was like, "What are the chances?"
Wait. Is it because he's old?
No,
No, nigga, because of
the
fucking, he's from Lamar Park.
Exactly.
Even though Lamar Park is the 40s,
And
but like, I mean,
That's why
it goes
started
all the way up
the
to the
episode.
60s, I guess.
That's why I
But
started the episode like
60
that.
starts to get towards Slauson and shit, though. But I mean, you
but
feel
yeah,
me? He
his
was out
brother
there.
pointed that out, and I was dead. I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Look at divine timing."
Look at that. I wonder who we're gonna have on 69.
Ooh, 69.
Who's gonna be
Freaky.
there?
Who's freaky ass is coming on? No.
Freaky ass nigga, he is 69 guy. Freaky ass nigga, he. Let's have Drake. Freaky ass nigga, he is 69 guy.
Or Kendrick.
I would take either.
Talking about the beef.
I would
I
take
think
either.
that actually might be around the time of Super Bowl too. If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Or
Well.
like sometime in February.
So y'all got to pull up to New Orleans.
We want to. We want to, but we got to see
We shall
what's happening.
see. But speaking of Kendrick, let's get into what are you wearing, Henny?
Okay. I got on the Squabble Up shocks. Shout outs to Murr. These are the Murr specials. I seen a lot of y'all get seated these by Malachi over
Shout
the
out
year.
to Malachi.
Yeah, shout outs to Malachi. He got a lot of shout outs these last couple of
He was. I said,
Yeah.
man,
someone
his
who
I said his shipping bill must be.
Oh yeah.
That
For someone who
must be
can't come on the
crazy.
pod too.
If he has media training, maybe we can make it happen. I feel like if anyone, they're gonna let anyone do it, they'll let Malachi do it because he's on the ground a
I want to
lot.
get on before though.
Huh?
I feel like there's some people I want to get on before that.
I know, but
there's
you
a
know how the
lot of
brand is
people.
with that media shit. They're weird.
Yeah, we were talking about it last night with a few people from Nike and Jen and everything. So we were like talking about the media training and how it's hard.
I want to get
Yeah,
on
it's a
so
whole
bad, man.
thing that's bullshit.
Because
to me,
these people
but
were people
whatever.
before they even started working there.
Man, it's funny. I'm gonna, because I'm messy, but I'm gonna let this person remain nameless. I saw somebody who works at Nike today. No, actually, they work at Jordan. They work at Jordan, and they was on a podcast talking hella shit. And I was like, "What kind? When did he get media trained? Because he kind of knew." So I was like, "Okay."
Do we know?
Y'all don't
Who
know
you sent
him.
it to?
Y'all don't know him.
I can't wait.
He's cool though, nice style, real funny dude. But like,
Okay, don't say too much
We'll
now.
say it. We'll say it after this is done. I'll show it to you because it's still
Yeah.
on his story.
Interesting.
okay.
Yes, but so I was
Interesting.
like, when I saw that shit, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I was like, if he could do this, somebody can
can
come
do
here.
on.
That's what I was thinking. But I don't want to get him in trouble. But anyways, just some black pants. I think these are the ones that JD Sports gave us, the daily season.
Oh, cool.
I have on a thrifted polo, I don't know, collared button up that I had bought from the thrift store that I gave to Brenton. But since all our shit is in fucking storage, I took it out of his closet when I came here. What's this? 28 inches, 1B 30.
Ooh.
Yes.
A mix.
That's
So
it.
you're a 1B girl?
I like a 1B with a mix.
Yeah.
Okay.
You feel me? Because like 1B sometimes can just like
It's too black.
Yeah.
it's too black. Yeah, but if you
Especially when you don't got no color in it.
Yeah.
It makes it too
And
black.
I
Makes
can't
it
do my
too
hair
black.
too dark.
and
That is
y'all
why.
know your girl ain't getting no sun in Portland now.
Yeah, you ain't getting no sun in Portland.
So all that little cute tan I had over the summer,
Gone.
the Pacific Northwest is definitely bringing out the 60% in me. It's crazy that I'm 60%. 60. When
You
I
did a
did,
thing?
I think they lied because ain't no way I'm 60% white.
You know your mom's whole black.
Yeah.
It could be like different parts of Europe that may not necessarily because did it say like Caucasian specific?
I mean,
or
it
just
does.
Western?
Or does it say
no,
European?
it says European.
I'll send the screenshot for the episode.
Mine is high too. Like even though my mom, like I'm native and my dad's white, like my white side is like really high, but because of like my great grandpa on my mom's side had like Spanish from Spain in him, and that's Europe. So it made like my European
Like, go
way
more up.
higher.
Yeah.
I
Like
don't know all of this.
I should do mine.
23.
23 and me.
Y'all ain't afraid they gonna steal y'all information and make
I think it's
clones
already
y'all?
out there.
I ain't got
cloning
shit
me.
for
You got a
him.
clone?
It's got already.
I don't got
Good
shit
Lord.
for him, so.
If there's two of me out there, good Lord.
Man. So yeah. Yeah, I think most of it was like from Europe. It was like Nordic type shit.
Nordic.
But you know, it's weird because when people see me, most of the time they don't even know I'm half white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Who do
it's
they
funny.
think you are?
Either
Like your other
either
half?
black or like sometimes Dominican or Puerto Rican,
Yeah,
especially if
I
my
can
hair
see
is like
that.
curly. But for the most part, like, yeah. So when I saw that shit, I was like, ain't no fucking way. But I'm still saying
better do
nigga because
mine.
guess what? I'm black. But anyways,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the historical context of the one drop rule.
You know? Exactly. Y'all like to play that game when y'all want to.
When you want to know, you don't go back on it now, America. One drop rule.
Because then they'll be like, well, Obama was technically mixed, so he wasn't the first black president. No, he was. He was. And y'all were giving him shit about it too. But I digress. Bima, what you got on?
What you got on? What you got on, Bima?
You know, I got on the kids, Immigrants, Air Max, Sundown.
Beautiful.
They did crazy on this project. So
Beautiful.
I love them. I have to put those on.
Absolutely.
And you know, I'm in the Bima fit. You know,
Yeah.
Big
I
Bima
was
energy.
Goes with the purple hat.
Cozy because we was traveling. So
Yeah.
I was cozy boy today. So chocolate top bottom. You know,
Where do you
little
get
bucket
them
hat.
from?
Yeah, about to say, where do you
Is
get
your
all
whole
this?
closet
Are
brown?
we allowed to ask?
What-
Can you
what'd you say?
say? Can you
What'd you
say
say?
where you get your?
Oh yeah, it's
stuff?
Los Angeles apparel.
Oh, okay.
How much like
where are
brown
the
stuff do you
blanks
own?
from?
I feel like
Is your
Bima's
whole closet brown?
Like, you know, like the cartoons when someone would open their closet, it's the same outfit. That's Bima's closet with like a hat. That's how I got imagine.
You a Doug Funny ass nigga, because Doug Funny wore the same shit every day too.
Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all now how serious I take this. I'm gonna tell you how serious I take this. My workout outfit
Oh no!
Say less.
is chocolate.
And he has a purple sweatband. No, I'm kidding.
I got a purple running hat. My suit when I gotta go somewhere,
Yeah.
it's chocolate.
That is amazing.
That's great. That's some dedication.
Have you talked? I can't remember, and I feel like this might have been mentioned. Is there a reason you chose those?
Oh
colors?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like the uniform in general was like, you know, I've been working in sneakers, streetwear, like all the way from retail, all the way before that, you know, collecting, all that stuff. And so we always have to, you know, have stuff and wear stuff and like show off for our friends, all this shit. And like I got to a point where I was like, yo, like I need to kind of figure out who the fuck I am outside of like all the stuff on, you know? And so when I left corporate in 19, I was like, I'm gonna wear a uniform. And like I'm just like I'm taking like this out and like I'm about to be doing my own thing. Like I want to focus on my own thing, and I'll wrap this in my personal brand. But when I was in corporate, one of the things that annoyed the shit out of me was everyone that had risen to leadership was usually European white men, and they all wore all black and white sneakers, and it drove me nuts. And like one day, I remember we was at lunch one day. It was like me and my peers, and like leadership was in town. And so they was all sitting at this table together. It was like 7 of them, all black with white sneakers. And I was like, well, y'all can probably figure out by now that I don't like to conform. And so I was like, my silent protest of my uniform is going to be chocolate, so a degree off.
Yes.
Just a little off
like,
of black.
you know.
No.
I just always felt like, however people succeed in life and whatever they're going to be, it shouldn't be based upon what they wear. It should be based upon who they are and what they bring to the table. And so, the chocolate was that. And then the purple is a nod home. I'm from Louisiana.
Nice.
I went to LSU, spent too much time in New Orleans, a lot of friends and family down there. And purple is a big color there as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So, a lot of us haven't been able to journey into the industries that we would want to as creatives. And, I'm one of few. And so I always felt like I need to send a nod back home. And so this is my way to send love back home.
Cool.
So that's why the purple.
Perfect.
I have a question about your shoes then. So like clearly these match so well with
I was gonna say, I was thinking the same question.
So does your shoes matter, or you just wear whatever you like when it comes to that?
If the shit is nice, I'm putting it on my feet.
Period.
Regardless.
Okay. Yes.
That literally popped in my head too. I was like, does he
Yeah.
try to match everything to the okay.
brown and the purple.
But I'm a really big fan of not matching your shoes sometimes.
Me too.
Like I'm a really big fan of that. I think
Me
it
too
looks
sometimes.
really good when you just throw on a random ass shoe that don't make
I
no sense
struggle with
your
that. I'm not
outfit.
gonna lie. I struggle with that.
I love it. I
My
love
boyfriend
that
struggles
shit.
with that. He'd be like, "Oh, there's some yellow in this, and there's some yellow in this shirt." So like,
Yeah,
I'm
I do
like,
that.
You don't have to do that.
I do
It's
that.
okay.
I do that all the time.
It
Like,
is
this
okay.
will match this perfectly. Perfect color. That's definitely, yeah.
Well, what do you have on today, then?
I have on Concepts Nike SB Dunk Highs. This was special box edition. Oh my God, this was like what, 2013, 2014?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. Absolutely. I hadn't worn any Christmas
13.
shoes this season yet on the pod. This episode airs post Christmas, but it's still Christmas to me. Yeah, I think this is a great collab, and Concepts was in their bag with this one, and they had several other ones. I think
There
we
was a
talked about
blue
them
one,
last year.
right?
There was a blue one that came out after,
Yeah.
and then you got the
grade
silver.
school
Yeah,
one.
the
And
grade
I
silver.
have the great one that came out.
I like the
with
gray
this
one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like ugly Christmas sweater.
So
That's what it
fucking
was.
good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, absolutely obsessed. And
You
they're
got Jeezy the Snowman on there.
It really
Literally, that's literally what it looks like. It's so funny. But I have on Supreme cargos. I don't even know what year
They're so cute.
these came from. Henny actually spotted these in Syndicate, and they're
I was like, you
too
need
big for
these.
her. But I was like, oh, these will fit me. So, and then I have on a Syndicate. Is
this new?
Yes, it
I
dropped
love that
yesterday.
shirt they did.
We went in yesterday to visit them, and then I was like, this is fire. And look, it's
I
for
like
the Black Cement
it.
3.
Oh, that's not. We don't.
I love Cindy's merch. They do such a good job.
It makes us better.
Yeah.
Oh, I love.
They just
that.
dropped
Shout out
this
to
tee
Cindy.
yesterday, so by the time this episode comes out, probably like 2 weeks ago. But I love the Cindy
I
air
do
that
too.
they
I like
did.
that a lot. I got
Yeah.
that. Go ask for that.
So shout out Cindy.
Shout out to Cindy boys.
Yeah, that's all I got on Apple Watch.
True.
That's all. That's it for me today. What you got on, Janelle?
So I have on my Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 RM driveways because they're the only ones that came in small sizes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But shout out to Nigel for them. So
Shout out,
thank you.
Nigel.
Thank you, Nigel.
Thanks. Can't wait to get your ones.
Yeah,
that
we
are
get.
coming
We
out.
want the low
Ones
one.
look nice too.
Remember you said we could be in the campaign? Okay.
No,
Yo,
He
shout
said
out.
it. He said it.
was it? It was yesterday. We said the tandem bike.
Oh, that's
We said
We're going to have a 3-person bike on it. We're going to be on the bike.
Hey,
Three of us. Three of us.
Yo, I need to see this. I ain't gonna lie.
That would be
I need to see this.
amazing.
That'd be
I need to
so
see it.
freaking funny. Dresses from H&M. Love them because they fit me the way I want them to.
Okay.
Hair is still 30.
A number
right now,
30.
but it needs to get taken out. So maybe it'll be different by the time. But by the time in real life, what my hair will be like, will probably be out and stuff.
True.
Pickups.
We got some stuff sent to us.
We did get some stuff sent to us.
We got the kids of immigrants.
We got the kids of immigrants.
I still need
Shout
this
out to
color.
them.
Whoever wants to help me, please feel free.
Purple. Oh yeah, we got the orange.
We have the orange pair, which is still amazing, by the way. I'm
Amazing.
still very appreciative of those.
That orange pair. Is
I think I
pretty.
like those more.
I mean, I like them both, but something about this pair is just
That
like,
purple is
it's
just
just chef's
the
kiss.
Yeah, the purple's.
Oh, it is. The purple's.
I think when they
gorgeous.
like saw it finished, they already knew what was going on. They said, "We got a
This
hit
is
on our
more
hand,
exclusive.
boys."
Yeah, they
like,
had to know.
like,
They had to know.
bruh.
Yeah, I don't know if this purple is gonna be part of like the wider release.
I don't think so.
Because you know how like a lot of people will do that.
Yeah.
Like, so
I doubt it. Me personally, I don't think they're re-releasing that pair. I think they're just gonna go like nationwide with the orange pair because since that's what was sent to us, I'm just assuming that's what's going to be put on like sneakers and stuff. But I mean, I can deal with this being the more exclusive color. I like that.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
You always want the more exclusive ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all do.
We got the Jordan 11 Legend Blue.
We did. We got the Legend Blue.
What do y'all think
Jordan
in hand?
brand.
How do y'all like them in hand?
I like the
They're over
bottom on
there.
this one better than the last pair, if I remember.
I can go get them.
Yeah.
Let me go get them.
I think they look nice. I wasn't particularly going to go for them myself personally, just because I didn't really wear the last pair that came out too much. I love 11s. I think at the time when the last pair came out too, like I was really into 11s, but I just don't wear them as often anymore.
That's true.
But it's still a great shoe. It's a classic shoe.
I know.
No, it does. That's also probably why I was like,
Oh my god.
like, why my foot look so big?
I think 11s
11's
are just
made,
natural.
yeah.
So like,
And you know what it was too? I used to, most of my 11s, like back in the day, were grade schools.
And these are
Yeah.
men's.
The men's
This is a
is
men's
definitely.
that's a men's size for sure.
You
Yes.
got the rope laces.
Yeah, the rope laces were the best part of the 11s.
It's so crazy to me. Like, this is a hoop shoe.
It is.
They're all hoop shoes at the end of the day.
That's what's crazy when you look back on like Jordan's shoes, like, you know, the popular ones that were turned into streetwear culture. And it's like, you can't imagine like
in them.
people hooping in them compared to what basketball shoes look like now and the technology.
Yeah, no,
Like,
seriously.
they were just
Different.
like, this looks good. Go
Yeah.
play in
Go
it.
play in this.
And you know what?
And he did.
And he
got it done.
absolutely
He
the
did.
fuck
He did.
did.
He did.
and did.
And did.
Maybe you don't need all the technology
I would like to see him in like
now.
in stuff now.
Oh, like Nike basketball now.
Yeah.
Oh.
That would be interesting
That'd be interesting.
to see.
I don't think Mike would
Like
lace
the
up half of
Jordan-
that
what-
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm putting it right
I don't think he would either because he rarely put on other people. I remember he put
was gonna
he put the
say.
Air Penny ones on, and I forget what game that was, and he won in them too. I forget. Me and Britton were just talking about because you know he's obsessed with Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yes, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
But like those were the best pennies in my opinion. Those Nike Air Penny ones, they were amazing.
Yeah.
So like the fact that Michael Jordan put those on to go play is like a huge thing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a positive girly.
Yeah, you are.
Love them. Crazy that I didn't get any Malachi, but that's great.
Oh,
Ooh, wait, what you didn't
said
get?
she's a positive girly.
I'm just playing.
Malachi, you be having these girls and they feelings out here. You better fix it.
Malachi's
Malachi's
gonna-
gonna block us.
Yeah, I was gonna say he gonna block.
He's gonna block us. He's gonna be like, fuck y'all.
Yeah, literally.
I feel like
Find
Malachi
somebody
gotta
else.
come on the show now. I mean, I just
I'm
feel like that's how it
dead.
is.
I'm kidding.
We love you, Malachi.
Anything exciting this week? What have you been up to?
Oh my goodness.
I know. Well,
What are you doing for the holidays and stuff?
yeah.
Holidays, I'm going home. I'm ready to go to Louisiana. Go spend time with moms, spend time with the in-laws, and just kind of unplug. I'll probably be offline for like 3 weeks. Thank God.
Good, good.
And
We
just
need it.
chill because it's been like getting ready for all this collab of the year stuff.
Yes.
and
We'll talk
all of
about.
the
Had to be a
promo
lot.
Stuff was like it was a lot. It was like 30 different creatives involved. I was like, my lord.
Did y'all shoot that in Portland?
Communication.
Yeah, we shot it in Portland.
Oh,
it was,
nice.
It was actually in the Pearl.
Oh,
not too
cool.
far away from Danger Way.
Dangerous Way.
Dangerous,
Dangerous Way, man. I can't wait till y'all go to Dangerous Way.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Dangerous Way. Dangerous Way is crazy.
Oh my God.
What else? Well, we went to the union, even though this was 2 weeks ago. We went to the union supervision party last night, and
I'm tired.
fucking exhausted.
I'm
You
so
know, we
tired.
never
Lord.
talked about Sadie's.
Oh shit, we didn't.
I didn't talk about Sadie's.
Oh man.
Little quick recap.
Well, I'm gonna have you seen
gonna
me
do
at
this
the
quickly.
union party acting up? No, you didn't. That's all I'm gonna say. But union was
it's
really
because
cool.
she didn't get into Sadie's, so she had to act up then.
We actually didn't talk about born and raised Sadie's Hawkins. A lot to say about that. I was indifferent about like coming on here and saying something because I do like respect the brand and Sponto's name. But I did get invited to Sadie Hawkins, not personally by the brand. I got invited by our good friend Ginger that we had on the couch about 2 months ago or so. And love Ginger to death. He has modeled for the brand, worked with the brand. You know, he told his story, how he broke into his first Sadie Hawkins and then thereafter was invited. I've heard about Sadie Hoggins. I've heard about how
everyone's heard about
hectic
Sadie's,
it can
man.
get into, how crazy and limited and like exclusive. It's like the
cool
the
people.
cool. So I was really, I'm not even gonna lie, like my homeboy Ginger invited me. None of my other close friends I knew were going. I was really, really nervous. I'm not even gonna lie, because I was just like, oh my God, like, everyone dresses up to the nines. It's like, like people really come out with their fashion. And I was going with Ginger, who I know, but he's definitely younger. All his friends are younger. I'm like,
Ginger's a baby.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't really run with that crowd. I see them when they're out and they're totally cool people, but I was like, I don't really. Oh, you know who I met that knew you in line? Her name is Lucy. Oh my God, I have to show you her page. Sweetest girl. She's like this tall. Because I was in heels. Keep in mind, like, I'm not super tall. I'm 5'6", in between 5'6", 5'7", but when I have heels on, I'm up there. So everyone to me is like down here. But I ended up going. I had a really good time. I had the cutest dress. I had the gloves. I had the hair. I had the glasses. My outfit was so cute. I bought a brand new pair of Louboutins to wear to the event. Okay, I got my wristband. Pull up. It starts at 9. Everyone knows, get there early just in case. It was at the Roosevelt this year. So I pull up, I meet up with my homeboy. He's already in line. By the time I pull up, it's like 8:30. The line is already down the motherfucking block. So I'm already like, oh my God, I'm nervous. But I call Ginger. He's like halfway in the line. I'm like, cool, I'm going to come find you. He has a big crowd of friends. I meet them all. There's like 20 people. I'm like, hey. Yeah. And it's a little drizzly. Yeah. So I'm like, oh fuck. No. But I didn't want to have like a big coat. And it worked out. I wasn't super like cold or anything. It was just drizzly. It's Hollywood where the Roosevelt's at. So 8:30, it starts at 9. I figured the line would start moving at that time. 9 o'clock hits, 9:15 hits, 9:30 hits. The line is not moving. The line is not moving. Time is going by. People are getting restless, and it's like, okay, what's going on? Like, I know it's like a thing, but like majority of these people have wristbands, have been invited, and we just had GA. We weren't VIP. I was okay with that. The other homegirl, Paulina, was about to pull up, so I was going to link with her in a little bit. But like 10 o'clock comes around and it's like, been outside in an hour and a half now and we've moved 2 feet. And it's just I see more and more people. It's like drizzly. It's not raining anymore. It was just kind of like
that sounds
like rain.
That's how what rain is in Portland.
It sounds like rain to me.
Yeah.
When the air is moist in Portland, I've noticed that's considered rain. Because out here, this is not considered rain.
Yeah.
But in Portland, that's considered rain. It's weird.
But it was like
shit changes.
It wasn't like I was getting wet or anything, but it was like
mist.
everything. Yeah, it was misty.
Moist.
Yeah. So, but at this time, it's like 10 o'clock, and I just see more and more people just walking towards the front of the gate. And at that point, it starts to get goofy when people are just going to the front. And so a bunch of us are like, fuck this, let's go see. We make our way up to the front. We're like pretty close, but we could still see there's a whole crowd of people. It's 10:30. Keep in mind, I don't wait in line this long for shit anymore. Nope. I'm 35 years old. I do not camp out for shoes. If that line is longer than 15 minutes, I am out. I don't wait in the lines at Disneyland. I don't want to. I don't want to. It's fine. I don't think I'm better than a line. I'm not saying that. I just don't. No one wants to wait.
I wouldn't wait in line for Sean Kelly, and that's my son. Like, come on now.
But like 2 hours outside, and it's like, and I'm in heels. So I'm
new heels at
brand new lubes, and I know the paint wears off on the lubes. The lube story will come back into play. I'm almost done. I'm not going to let this go on too much longer, but we're right there. It's 10 o'clock, hour and a half at this point. Police show up on the road, and they're like, y'all need to get the fuck out of the street, because people are like going into the street now, and like people can't get through. It's like, oh my God. And it's a Tuesday night, and it's just getting worse and worse.
People start breaking in, right?
I honestly, okay.
I'm sure.
No, everyone that I talked to that did get in there that I knew snuck in there, even though they had wristbands. I talked to, oh my God. Lauren, thank you. Yeah. I talked to Lauren, and I was like, because I was driving by when I was parking, I seen Lauren outside, and I messaged her, and I was like, girl, are you going to Sadie's? I just seen you outside. And she said she snuck in through something because was having trouble getting in, snuck in through something, ended up in there. People I know went around the hotel the other way. There were several people. Okay. So then, long story short, it ends up being like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, I can't. My feet are starting to hurt. I've been standing here for hours.
You've been there since 8.
8:30.
Nobody is getting in. They're not letting people in. The cops basically tell everyone it's done, it's over. They're not letting you in. People are not leaving. They're like, we're going to start pushing you out of this street. It starts getting crazy. I finally meet up with Paulina because she knew somebody else. We like go around the side to see, because there's a separate VIP entrance now. So I'm like, we go around the side over there. I see some cars like pulling in, they're letting them in, but they're literally like, you need to know someone inside to come out and get you. And nobody's inside is coming out. So at this point,
they're going to get back in.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, I'm done. I'm going home. I tried. I waited. You know, I was super grateful for my friend giving me a wristband, but it was just like, this is insane. I started seeing people I know that have been to Sadie's so many times who were friends with Spontos, who we used to be like on Sponto's list, who didn't get in. It was very upsetting. And I'm like,
when it used to be a communal thing.
It used to be a communal thing. And I think just one of those things was like Born and Raised was raised literally in the community. Like they built that off of the people in LA and those people that were being turned away. And even after that, like a lot of people were upset. I was sad I didn't get in, and I was like, damn, I'd feel like a loser if there wasn't 500 people behind me.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like, damn, I would feel like a loser right now, but I didn't because I was
like. But his wife made a statement too, right?
There's stuff going on between there, and that's not my personal thing to talk about. But Sponto's wife was not in attendance and had her own event doing something else that night.
That's how you know it's fucked up over there.
Yeah, and from what I heard as well, because I was with a few people at Scam and Jam later on, where Sponto's son was at, and I believe Sponto's son was in there briefly, came out to get his friends, and they wouldn't let him back in.
Nuts.
The son and the wife is not there. That says a lot. Let's just talk about that.
But that was just my personal experience. Like I said, I wasn't personally invited. I'm not an A-list celebrity, and it just is what it is. And I probably will never try to go to Born and Raised again, Sadie's. But at the end of that, I came home. My Louboutin, the paint, the bottoms always come off. It's a given. Mm-hmm. The paint, like the heel, the paint was peeling off the heel one wear. Because at one point I'm standing out there and there's like, it's the sidewalk and then grass and then street. Mm-hmm. It's drizzling. The grass is damp. My heels dug into the grass. So my heel got so damp that the fucking paint started peeling off. I was like, bro, when I posted, I'll have to clip the photo. I posted a picture.
Yeah.
When you see, I'm going to have to show you, Bimma.
They don't use some money.
I'll be like, y'all got to send me another pair.
Right. Like, somebody got to pay for it.
Somebody gotta give me another.
Bro, brand new fucking $1,000 pair of shoes, like insane. When was
you gotta send me another pair?
Oh, this was okay. So it was this week right here, because the shoe looked insane. Everyone was like, "What the hell did you do? Like, what the fuck?" Look at my shoe, and from standing outside, it looks like I got in a fight.
No, literally, it does.
And these brand new?
It does.
I bought them that afternoon. Like you could see though the dirt like dug in under.
Look at that part. Oh my god.
Yeah, they gotta run you.
Have you
gotta
gotten
run you another pair.
I haven't. I need to take it in to get fixed. I'm gonna have to take it to a cobbler, but yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, that was my
I'm glad that Union at least was better.
Yeah, Union was cool.
Sadie's.
Yeah.
It wasn't as hard to get into this time because I remember last year I struggled to get in Union even with an invite.
Yeah.
But like this time it was a lot easier. We walked right in. I feel like we were outside for what, maybe a minute or two.
Yeah, we seemed like Sobe, Jen twice. Everyone pulled up at the same time. So
we walked in. It was cool. I had a time. It was good. It was nice to be in LA again because Portland is cold, so
it's cold out here.
I mean, you moved there. It's like 30-something degrees.
Yeah,
in the
it's
morning
cold.
Now.
It's
cold.
cold.
Usually it's like 45, 50.
Yeah,
it's
it's really cold right now compared to what.
Now.
Yeah, agreed.
I could not.
But we really want to get into this conversation with Bimma because I know everyone is waiting to hear about everything that transpired in November.
Yes.
Talking about the collab of the year and everything. But we haven't really done too much sneaker news and we're not going to touch too much on that. But there are a few things like I did want to talk about that before the end of the year because I feel like by next year it's already going to be done. Well, not really done, but one of the interesting things because we had Franelations on like a few months ago and he had all the Artifact shoes and was really big on Artifact and the Nike collab and everything they were doing, and it came to the news a few weeks ago that Artifact is done. Like the whole
with Nike and stuff.
With Nike, but I think the brand itself, because it was its own thing prior to Nike, like they're just done. And I don't really know the logistics of it.
I don't either, but I do remember we had seen someone tweet about this.
Like the day before it was announced.
But no, it was like before Complex.
Oh.
Because they were talking about like
I might have
this whole like conspiracy thing about Complex and like Nike being back at Complex and then them also working with Network and then like Nike trying to work with Network instead of Artifact or some shit like that, and they were like, well, Artifact's gonna be done after this, so make sure you guys peep this and watch it, and then Travis is gonna be done too. Like Someone went real deep into this conspiracy theory, and I was like, holy shit. But he was kind of right about this one. So,
he did say that there was supposedly something in the talks of like Nike and Network joining together and pushing
basically doing sneakers content, like coming together and like running that.
This is all alleged. I forgot whose tweet it was. I'm sure I have a screenshot somewhere and we'll find it. But
I guess we're gonna find out.
I mean, how do you feel about like seeing? I mean, we know you're in the Collab Lab, so I'm like, what,
so are
like,
we
when
right
you
now?
see like something like this with brands that like invested so much money, like what, like
I'll be honest with y'all about Artifact and Dot Swoosh.
Yeah,
like I never understood the business proposition. I always thought it was interesting. I always thought it was cool. I just didn't understand why it couldn't be something that rolled up into Nike sportswear, because it's not necessarily a technical or functional thing. It doesn't necessarily fit against any other like gender-based thing or identity-based thing. And so I was like, it just feels like something that could have always just been a part of Nike sportswear. And then when I saw the output of what was coming from it, it was just sneakers. It was different types of
things when it was supposed to be like the Web3 type of thing.
And so I was like, this is interesting. And then honestly, like I kind of forgot about it this year. If I'm being transparent. I kind of forgot. And then when I saw the announcement, I was like, I mean, I wasn't surprised because I was like, again, like if the company is having the challenges that it's happening from a business proposition and also innovation situation, I'm like, they're probably gonna pull resources so they can focus on what they need to focus on. And I just, so I but it's tough because it's like you want these brands to take bets and you want them to like try stuff, but it's like, I don't know if that was the right bet.
Yeah, I think at the time, because it was Donna. What are you doing?
My ring broke. It just is gone.
Oh, your ring! I was like, what are you doing over there?
What happened?
I think because it was Donahoe before, and I think at that time because like who were we talking to yesterday, and we were kind of like talking about either yesterday or the day before, we were talking about like John Donahoe and everything that he did when he came through to Nike and started a lot of the internet, not starting the internet stuff, but like getting into like this type
going
of
hard on digital.
Web3
going hard on digital.
Damn, we were talking to somebody about that.
We were just talking about this like a day or two ago,
this?
and they were he was like, well, you know how Nike how Donahoe ran Nike into the ground with like the eBay and this and that. But I'm saying all this because at the time, you know, it's COVID 2020, the Web3, the digital space was definitely booming.
It's the thing.
So
Nike was just trying to capitalize off of that.
And I think it was really cool. I loved the way they did. Artifact did those little you would buy a capsule with like the cryptocurrency. You didn't know what you got. Then you got a character, and the character was even collabed with Murakami. And I thought it was so awesome. And I was like, oh my God, I love this in the Web3 space. And like you said, it just kind of was like, after that, it was just like.
It was just so, I always said it was like, it was so new. And I think it got adopted before the space could like truly form its identity. And then so many people started forming an identity around it. And it just started to like, it just went to a space where I didn't think that it could keep up. And then like, you know, then like the scam shit started to happen. And like once that's happening, what's homie with the $1 billion that disappeared?
I did see about that.
You know, so it just, I don't know. I think it was a lot going on.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if like what Nike has in the future for like Web3 or if anything else will transpire like this again. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the Artifact thing because we didn't really touch base on that.
Are y'all going to miss it?
No.
Nope.
I mean, I don't think so. Yeah. Cause I wanted one of those capsules so bad when they came out. But like, I think after the fact, it was kind of like, okay, you know, what am I going to do with this? I think for like Fortnite and stuff like that, when you can integrate the shoes, smart, genius. Yes. But I don't think they did enough of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just what, but I thought the concept was cool. It just sucks that it couldn't be carried out fully.
Do we want to talk about these alma mater Converse?
I do.
We do.
I want to know what y'all think. I'm very curious.
I want to know what you think.
I automatically went back to Chinatown Market, and I thought about that moment and how they acted towards them when that happened.
Chinatown Market.
And now we're seeing it now, and I'm like, I mean, it's cool. It looks good. I'm not.
like it.
I like it.
Everyone just kept calling it a blazer with different materials.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah, that part I was
does.
like, okay, y'all. But
you
the
guys
other
are Converse.
Chinatown
You
argument, I was like,
Converse.
okay, we could talk about that. But I was
Yeah.
like, y'all, you've seen this before. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
did you say it
Yeah.
then? Okay, you got it out. Let's talk about the thing that you want to talk about. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the Chinatown
I think-
market.
Yeah.
and talk about
Exactly.
this.
I think that's the biggest controversy because I think it's awesome. I think that
think it looks
embroidered.
really
I loved it. I think the shoe was
it
very
looked
nice.
Really cool. I love Converse, so seeing something like
different out of the
like
Armand
that.
Manier thing, because we see so much of the same shit coming from there, so it's
Exactly.
refreshing to
I
see something a
also
little
wanna
newer.
know if it's on the 70. Did anyone?
It's a
Oh,
70.
it is?
It's a
Okay.
70.
Okay.
Oh, then yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like that it's something different in the partnership.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the jury's still out as far as like for me, as far as like I'd love to see different colors, different executions on it for sure. But the idea itself, I think what's tough right now is that we haven't gotten the story.
Yeah.
We talk
Right.
about that all the time.
And I think with something like that, it's important to know like, okay, so why is this happening now?
Yeah.
Why this
Very
partner?
important.
And also explaining why this hasn't, because they've owned this brand since 2003.
Yeah.
Right?
We
And
were
so
just
why
talking
is
about
this
that.
the time now?
Yeah.
What was the reasoning why y'all never did it?
Would love to
Yeah.
know that.
You know, outside
Virgil
of like,
did
you
it.
know, business reasons of like, hey, this would be good, you know, for
Virgil did a
energy-wise,
Converse,
why,
but it didn't
you
have
know?
a swoosh
It
on
did
it.
have
Yeah,
a swoosh
it-
on
Oh,
it.
it had a swoosh on it?
Yeah.
The clear pair?
The transparent
The
one?
transparent one?
Yeah.
Where was the swoosh at?
Same place it's on.
No, that was a blazer. Wait.
Yeah, it was the
I'm
blazer.
looking
That was
this
the blazer.
I'm about to say the
It's a
Converse
blazer.
didn't have
It's
a
a blazer.
Converse.
The Converse
didn't
was
have a
clear.
Converse.
Yeah, the Converse was clear.
Because there was two Converses. There was the transparent
white
one
one?
and then a
there was
white
the
The
one.
white, not the white one. The transparent.
The transparent one was the better one.
There was the one with the
And
traffic
then there was a
mark.
white
Yeah,
pair.
that's the two.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember this one.
Someone
having
posted a picture,
a swoosh on
and it had
Unless that was a
full-ass
sample or
swoosh on
something.
Yeah, so it was
Could've
those.
been.
It was those. Yup.
Let me. I'm trying to see if they're.
And those are hella limited.
Yeah, see,
Very
these are
limited.
not-
Correct.
I feel like Corey posted it.
Maybe he had a sample pair or
Maybe
something.
Corey was friends with Virgil.
Corey posted a picture with Virgil, and it was in his hand.
It could have been a sample
that was
pair.
Virgil's, but this was the transparent one. That, yeah.
That's the one that actually came out.
Yeah.
And then
And
there
then
was
those
this
were the
one.
wider
It was like a
releases.
And then that was the bigger
I
thing.
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like these.
Those
Yeah,
were
it was-
everywhere.
Yeah,
Those
definitely
were fucking
was.
everywhere.
I sold mine. I
Oh,
never
they're
wore 'em.
so ugly. Oh, the way
Yeah.
that they aged. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's so disgusting.
Yeah, that did not age well.
Oh.
But some people like that look though. Like
Some
this
people like the
particular.
age
Some people.
look, yeah.
But see, there's so
It's
many
the same people
different
that buy
versions.
Golden Goose.
Yeah.
But there's different versions of aged looks. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So
Yeah, I
like
feel you.
this in
Well, that's
particular,
true.
there's a certain consumer that likes that particular look. So I know what you're talking about.
Off-white Converse.
But you get what I'm saying. Like on the Amama Year ones, that's the thing for me is like I want to like we need to see more of it. But it's tough, right? We're in this market where once we see it, like the narrative starts. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
Yes.
it's like I always try to encourage folks. I'm like we gotta go. Like once it's out there, you gotta start to go because otherwise, I feel like narratives just get hijacked. So
Yeah,
fast.
and then shit falls off too because then people don't want it after a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Just like the
we
Jack Harlow's. That's what I feel like.
Man,
y'all
he
gonna get me in trouble. Y'all gonna
He
get me in
was
trouble. Y'all gonna
on
get me in
his
trouble.
ass.
poor Jack.
Because I like those shoes.
I was not mad about.
Yo, well,
I
y'all
was not
know.
mad at
So
them.
I'm from Kentucky, as everyone knows, and of course, when I see something that is telling the story of like the Derby and how iconic Derby is, like I saw it and was like, okay, I understand this because I grew up in this, and I did think the materials that were used were actually really nice as far as like the velvet,
yeah.
and stuff like that. But also, I felt like the shoe looked a little rushed, if I'm being honest, as far as like, because it was like all over and it was just like here, boom. And it's like, it could have went
As far as
through.
the rollout or the actual.
Well, the rollout was flat, if we're going to be
Oh,
honest.
Okay,
yeah. That's
glad
how I
ain't
feel.
alone.
I wanna hear it.
The rollout
I
was
wanna
flat.
hear
Oh.
Because I want to hear like why.
I think the shoe
I
was
want to know why
really
they didn't tell
good.
it. Why didn't they tell the Derby story?
Why
Exactly.
I don't.
Nice.
And I, from a person that's from Kentucky, I would have liked to see more like.
Who was it that was it? Cameron Brink that had him out at the one.
She did, because she's a New Balance
Yes.
athlete.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that was like the first time I had seen them like on feet and out.
Yes. And see, I don't know what New Balance and Jack had going on as far as like what they were allowing him to do and like what kind of access he had and you know, as far as like budget and shit like that. But at the same time, it's like, this is the Derby, bro.
Yeah.
Like
it's a big deal.
it's a big fucking deal. So like, you got to do what you need to do to make this like,
especially when there hasn't been a shoe like that to
right.
represent.
Right.
They should have been selling that shoe at the Derby.
Because it's no shade to Jack. It's no shade to Jack and Sing because, you know, y'all saw how Warren felt on his couch when he started talking about Lexington and things and Louisville and whatever. But at the same time, it's like, you got to look at the brand too, because it's like a lot of shit fell flat when it came to the rollout, when it came to who it got to, and even with, like I said, even though I like the shoe for certain parts of it, I do feel like they could have went back in and like changed a couple things to make it that much better, if that makes any sense.
It's too big of a opportunity and a collaborator for it to not have delivered the way that you did.
Exactly.
Right? Like all the things you just said should have been on sale at the Derby. It should have told a story. It should have been seeded or gifted to certain individuals in the city to represent. Like there's just so many things that I was like, and that was my biggest issue. You know, like I always say, like the design stuff is subjective, and usually when I say that stuff, I'm like, just like take it with a grain of salt. Like we all like different shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when it comes down to the marketing, I'm like, that don't make no sense.
Right.
And you can't convince me that this makes sense.
Yeah.
The whole story told nothing about Kentucky.
At
Y'all
all.
don't sit here and tell me
At
it's a
all.
shoe that's about Kentucky.
Because when we had first seen it and we talked about it, we were like, it's really nice. The story seems amazing. And then, like you said, it just went flat.
It went flat. I don't know what happened as far as like what they were going to allow.
When it got leaked and then when the
I don't know what happened. But even Warren had spoke on something about like the brand giving pushback as far as like trying to do stuff locally, if that makes any sense. So like he's like, why would a store in Kentucky not be the first choice?
I agree.
Because this is where he's from.
Not to interrupt you, but like, because I know we're so used to seeing like Adidas and Nike do these bigger rollouts and like localized things. Does New Balance typically do that with their collabs? Because I mean, I don't even think we see that with Baklava.
To be
I would say I've seen Joe specifically launch
like Joe,
first in Chicago, right? But I don't know if it's like an intentional strategy like we've seen from some of the other brands. You know, like what happened with the foams with the DMV this year. I don't know if we've seen that specifically. So I think there was like something. I felt like there was something they did with what was that campaign they did? The Gray Story something. It was the all gray shit.
Gray Day.
Did that have a regional distribution play?
I
don't think so. No, because they had a Gray Day thing. Because they did some shit here at Shoe Palace. Remember, I didn't go because I think I was out of town. But they were doing
something like smaller,
but in bigger cities. You know what I mean? Like LA, maybe New York, and probably that's it. You know what I mean? Maybe Boston because that's where they're located. But like. Not to the extent
I think it was
of
Boston. I think you are right.
Yeah, but not to the extent of how it should have been received though, because I feel like we knew about it, but we didn't see shit about it after it happened. Yeah. You know what I mean?
About it too.
Yeah.
The New Balance Gray.
Here's the thing about New Balance though, because like, and we all know it's American made company, and they're still fairly new to this space as far as consistent collaborations. Because like, we've seen like stores like Bodega, S&S, you know, just things like that over time, over the years, like have like a little collab here and there or whatever. But now it's been so consistent as far as like outside of stores and just collaborators. And I feel like they're kind of catching up when it comes to like how you market and reach your consumer to an extent.
In this culture,
yes.
Or this community,
Because y'all have a lot of like, you know, I guess clout around the name, and people are like very much paying attention, especially with having people like Joe on the brand, Salehi. I mean, well, I don't even know. Salehi's with everybody as far as I'm concerned. Salehi do what he want. I don't know.
I'm like, Salehi got the unlimited juice. He's like, y'all ain't telling me where I can't be.
Crazy.
The only place Salehi hasn't went yet is Nike. I mean, and
I can't wait till that happens.
I think he deserves it because this nigga has been everywhere.
I'm like, go wherever. Like,
do it.
Even designer brands. He was at Versace. Like, you know,
he's everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
All kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, New Balance, something, it's like the product is good. And even the GR product is good.
Yeah.
But it's like when it comes to actually like connecting with a consumer for like nationwide, I feel like it falls flat sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
like
they're not there just yet. But I agree with you. Like they are making. They get the motion is undeniable.
Yeah, we can't deny that.
It was funny because y'all know Joe, who used to do collaborations there. He's independent now, but I put out a story and I was like, is Saucony giving New Balance a run for the money?
Oh
and
my God.
and we were going back and forth about it. But Joe, you know, I think what they've done has been so incredible because like no one was talking about New Balance. Like,
No.
you know what I mean? Like,
Give
and
Joe
I mean, like
all the flowers.
at these high levels, nobody was talking about New Balance in the same category.
No,
as
not at all.
Jordan, Nike,
Yeah.
Not
you
at
know,
all.
That was
But now
not
we
a
are.
thing. Adidas, you know, and like I literally caught myself for like a whole month in November, and I was in Bally's, and I was like, this is weird. I was like, why am I in New Balance?
Yeah. Because there's really good stuff like everything. Like
that cultural shift literally had a lot to do with Joe.
Man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. Because I mean, I think it's just when we look at, I mean, as far as marketing and like, you know, New Balance catching up, like Nike, Jordan, that area for a long time has had people lining up, camping out, creating that wave. So they had to adapt earlier on to that type of marketing and that demand. But I think now that it's happening with New Balance, they're like, oh, okay, this, like, we need to catch up on this. Like, and I think a lot of brands are kind of seeing that in a sense too. I mean, Asics is having a goddamn year.
Yeah,
So
it really
Saucony
is.
Yeah, Saucony too.
These
like,
brands, no, they're on the come up right now. But it's like we don't ever talk about a lot of these collaborators where they started, and that's within Nike and Jordan as far as like their love for sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the things that we have seen from Nike and Jordan as we've grown up, we've kind of like caught on to certain shit and been like, okay, if I had a shoe, I would do it like this or like whatever. So when you see someone like Joe Freshgoods, who you know was in Nikes and Jordans all his goddamn life growing up, he of course he's gonna be inspired from like what he like grew up on and what he saw, right? And you're gonna try to take that and apply it to where you're at now. So it's like the DNA and the blueprint always comes from the swoosh. Let's be all the way real. Let's be all the way real. But it's like
I don't think they'll ever deny that. They
no.
You know
like,
what's
that's the
interesting
thing,
about
like-
that? I feel like we're probably about 10 years away from that first collaborator that will come on and say, I actually grew up in Asics. I grew up in New Balance.
yes,
I believe that.
I see that.
That's right. Like that's the
Yes.
kid right now. That
right
kid
now.
right now.
It's happening
is
right
in
now.
happening.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I can imagine in 10 years what the hell we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like we all know that Nike is king at the end of the day, but it's like,
but we're in the phase, not to cut you off, because who was it? Was it Jay or who was it that said their kid or somebody went to school and they got made fun of for
for the Travis, because back to Bima's point, guess what? These same kids that are like, you know, cooking up right now and are going to become the collaborators of the future are also going to be saying, well, I actually resonated with Asics. I actually resonated whatever, because Nike always used to be rooted in sport. Nike's not rooted in sport anymore. So a lot of people used to be like, Michael Jordan was my hero. Kobe was my hero, whatever. Not to say that people like D Book or whoever else, Jason Tatum, whatever may have you, aren't relevant at these brands, but they don't have half the fucking personality that these fucking, you know, players have. That's why Adidas is doing so well with AE, because he's a special kind of player. There's nobody on the fucking court that is playing like AE. I watch basketball all the time, and I see all these kids that have so much money because like they're growing up going to KBA or whatever, and they have all the money to be such a good player, but they don't come in with personality. They come in with skill because their parents are able to pay for them to have the skill set. Exactly. So now we've lost it with all these like huge basketball stars that used to be the people moving the culture and making you want to go buy that shoe.
Because they were culture. That's
exactly.
Everything revolved around
the
these
culture,
players.
Exactly.
And a lot of these basketball stars, tunnel fits are questionable.
Very.
Because they don't have any personality.
No, not at all. So of course Adidas is gonna win with AE. Like the shoe's good too, but he's a big fucking talent.
I mean, when I saw that he was signed to Adidas and I saw the first spots, and I feel like a lot of us probably had the same thought. You had to be like, that looks like a Jordan athlete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Personality wise,
He looks like Jordan himself.
I need a DNA
he
test.
handles himself, the way that he talks, talks trash. Like I'm just like, I was like, I mean, shout out to Adidas, shout out to my man Cam. Shout out, like that's. I think that's fucking great for them.
Yeah,
but I'm just like,
they
if I'm
need
at
it.
Jordan, I'm like, how we missed this?
Exactly. No, they should be
Who
beating
dropped that
themselves up
ball?
for that because that.
But I'm sure Adidas felt like that with Jordan.
Jordan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And was like, we're not missing it. We're not missing this second time around.
Adidas said 40 years later, we got our lick back.
That's exactly
40 years later. Oh my God, that's
He is ours. Back the fuck off.
Yeah.
And that gives Anthony so much power here in a few years. So, because after he gets his ring and he, because he's such a team player too, and he really takes care of his team. That's what I love about watching him play.
Yeah.
But man, he's going to have a lot of shit on his side when it comes to renegotiating.
I really
Boy.
love. I put this up, but I didn't know if we were going to talk about it. But I love that he gave his best friend his own shoes.
that was
his
beautiful.
own thing
I thought
on
it was
it.
fire.
Like,
That was really
Like
beautiful.
you talking about taking care of your team and your
Yeah.
people. It's like
taking care of
that was so awesome. 'Cause
Yeah.
like, we rarely see somebody do that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool.
It's a circle of influence, and I think that's so dope because a lot of those people don't get acknowledged
At all.
Yeah.
And they ride or die. They always there. I thought it was dope that he was in a commercial, and then
Yeah.
apparently the video was like a surprise, from what I understand.
That's beautiful.
I understood like he didn't necessarily
Yeah,
know
no.
like he was. I was
I
like
love
that was beautiful.
That's so nice.
I love that.
Me too.
Okay, well, let's get
do
into ComplexCon
Okay, we're
real
gonna
quick
we'll do
before we
that.
get into the
Collab
collab
of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like we
well-
need to address this first.
Yeah.
We were all in the building.
there.
We were all in the
were
building.
2 rows behind us.
There,
This is
literally
wow.
And as I was watching it, it literally happened right after I got my shoe signed.
Yeah.
Literally right after that.
Dude, it's like
And
all
I
the
was like,
bullshit
God,
went
it's
down
like,
towards
whoa,
the end.
What's happening? Oh my God.
There was-
So what is your point of view from everything? Because I feel like you haven't talked
Yeah, I haven't
about
really
any of
spoken
it.
on
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where should I start? What do you feel like needs clarity?
So
Okay, when I want to know, let's go back to the actual video being posted about Yachty's shoe. What was like your initial reaction to like his comment even being on there? Like, did you expect him at all to see that?
No, and also I think generally maybe I don't give my own voice enough credit. But genuinely, I think at a certain level, I just assume that they might see commentary and ignore it because they're so used to commentary.
Yeah.
And so when I saw him comment, I was like, oh, okay. So he's been in this for a minute. So I was like, oh, he's taking this as a joke.
Right.
I completely misread the situation. Clearly.
That's the thing about text messages and comments. Like you can't read the energy coming through.
Sometimes people can't read through text. No, that's very true.
you can't read the tone.
So I completely misread the room in that regard.
Well, he misread the room as Sneaker of the Year.
He showed it.
So I
late to the
didn't think there was anything there when we were going to, as far as like he and I when we were going to ComplexCon. But I was aware that there would probably be some smoke between me and some other people that were at ComplexCon.
Okay. You wasn't
okay.
expecting him to be on the bingo
You're like
card.
the other people. Okay. Okay, so we get into the room. He's already late on top of that.
Yeah,
Yachty's already
Yachty
late on
showed
top of
Dude,
that.
30 minutes
Oh, it was
late
well
is out
over
of
30 minutes.
pocket.
Yeah, we were already like on
Like,
the second.
We were on like
we were
5 or
going
6.
to like 5, I think.
Yeah.
They were going
Around,
into
yeah.
number 5.
We was about halfway.
Yeah.
I was like,
Which is honestly just really disrespectful because leading up to that, I think we did talk about this on the episode, but like, not everyone talking about not having a woman on the panel and then
that part. And
having
then,
someone having the honor of being on there and then showing up late
late.
was low-key like a slap. in
And
the
bragging
face.
about it because he's like, yeah, I just hopped off the jet.
Yeah.
I was like, girl.
And then sat down like he didn't give 2
Oh my
fucks.
God.
At
the
all.
whole thing. I was watching it. I
Yeah.
was like, what are you fucking you doing? So got my shoe signed. And then I think PJ Tucker was like, someone was talking shit about your shoes.
Yeah.
And then Yachty went into this whole thing. And then
Well,
Joe was like,
He's right.
Joe really did do that. Joe was like, Bimma. I was like, I was like, God damn. How
oh my God. Okay. And then Yachty obviously starts going in for about 5-10 minutes. I was like, this, because I watched it back and I'm like, it's still going on. Like, he's still talking.
There was so
I'm like,
much
oh
going
my
on in
God.
the room at the time because, like, rewatching the part, you could literally only hear them on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
you
toned
couldn't
that crowd
hear- you
down
couldn't hear
a
nothing
lot.
that was
The
happening
crowd was
in the audience.
so
Oh my God.
loud.
No, we were.
yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to y'all because like Y'all were very vocal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Matt, Shu Hefner was literally the row behind us, and he was like off, I think, to your left. And I heard Matt kept saying like, "Pass Bimma the mic." Everyone was like, "Give Bimma the mic."
Give me Bimma the mic. Yeah.
I'll be honest with y'all. In hindsight, I'm glad I didn't get the mic.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was so heated
because I was like, well, I just like from a distance, you can't tell who's who, right?
Right.
And so to have that exchange happening, and then also. What I haven't spoken on is like Yachty has I always say, especially when I have the right to comment, somebody's got the right to respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
However they decide
100%.
to respond, right? And so like whatever happened with that, that's what it is. What I took issue with is we have to be aware of there's a dynamic between me and Yachty, and that's a dynamic that can somehow be controlled. What you can't control is being at a venue with thousands of kids who might be stans, who might want to avenge.
That's true.
That's very true.
That. God forbid somebody come up and like sock you or
so
anything.
We're walking around the environment
that.
and they post the clip while we're in there.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's a situation where they're not thinking about that, because the reason they're not thinking about that is because all they're thinking about is likes and clicks and engagement. And in my world, that comes second. Right? It's not the first thing. The first thing is the information. The first thing is the safety. Right? And the first thing is like, are we both in on it? Or is this dangerous?
Yeah.
Right? And so that was the part for me that got a little weird.
Yeah, that I didn't honestly never consider that part, because honestly,
that's true.
Those younger kids, I'm sure if it was Travis Scott, probably somebody would have attacked
they'd
you
be
just
charged up
because
on
I
energy,
felt
adrenaline.
like some of his like friends came from around the stage when everything was happening too, and like was recording and I'm like, is this about to be a thing? Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't make no bones about it. When I got down the escalator, like people was trying to come check me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
Over a comment on a shoe.
It was interesting.
Over an opinion on a shoe. Like we're allowed to not like something.
Yeah.
We are.
We are allowed.
We are
like,
so allowed not to like
sucks
it.
because it's like, people, creatives, everybody, artists, when you put something out, it really does hurt when someone critiques it and it's not in your favor. I know artists sensitive about your shit. Absolutely. But art and these type of things are also interpretive to every person, and you cannot get that angry about it. Have a feeling about it, be hurt about it, and but to be that angry and to be yelling those things he was yelling on stage, in public, in a room full of
calling you out of your name, taking it so personal,
talking about sucking dick.
Man.
What, Brendan?
What's wrong with sucking dick?
Yo, okay.
Calling you poor.
So
it was so watching it back.
Okay,
that
so
shit
it was so
funny.
crazy. Like I didn't catch that till I rewatched the episode. And I was like, yep, he said that. He said that.
Brandon was like, yo, ain't nothing wrong with sucking dick. I was like,
When
yo.
he said it, I was like, oh, this is hilarious.
That shit was hilarious.
Oh my God.
But even with Yachty, because he was I understood how Yachty felt in that moment. But for him to be, first of all, he's 27 years old. He's a baby. I don't care what anyone says. But he's like,
he is very young.
He's a baby. But he's just like, I've been doing this for so long, since I don't know when, and da-da-da-da. Nigga, everyone in this goddamn room has. How do you think we feel?
Yeah.
People that have been in this industry for a long time. We don't know if we'll ever get a shoe collab. Had we not started this shit, it was definitely not gonna happen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
At all.
So like, you talking to people that know more than you. I'm so sorry, because we've been around. And it's as simple as that. But I'm not here to say that there's not more to learn. And I'm not also taking away from the information that you do have. But just because you on that stage don't mean you got all the answers. And I think it was very evident how the crowd reacted to Yachty. It was a very humbling experience. That's what I'm gonna say.
The crowd reaction the day of the internet reaction.
I'll keep it a buck.
afterwards,
That was like that's what I was like. I was like, because you're in there, and like a lot of people ask me like, how did it feel being in there in that exchange? You didn't have a way to respond, and I was like, I always tell people like, honestly, I wasn't stressed at all. And I was like, the reason I wasn't stressed was because none of the information was true.
Yeah.
Right?
He doesn't suck dick.
It feels...
Nor does he live in a little apartment.
Look, Ain't nothing wrong with sucking dick.
Oh my God. Unhinged.
None of that was true.
You should beep out dick when we did the real, like,
No, not Divas. That was Dad. If he was gonna be like, I'm never coming back over to this house.
I always come back.
you should put like a purple, like, eggplant. That should be the name of the episode. Ain't nothing wrong with sucking an eggplant.
Yo, that's brilliant. That's actually brilliant.
Thank you.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
But no, I wasn't tripping about that because again, like I was like, it wasn't true, and it was just so like it was so out there. I was like, I don't even know what this is anymore. But what I was tripping about was the next day. Yeah. Because when it hit the internet, I was like, again, I was like, stands.
Yeah, because people are out their goddamn minds.
You know,
we saw how them kids was acting at ComplexCon. The Playboy Cardi kids, the Travis kids.
We've seen it all.
We got ran over by some kids. My whole ankle got fucked up.
Oh yeah,
bro, they trampled us. Like then you. Girl, I digress.
Yeah, you just don't know. So I was just like, you know, with the kids. But when I woke up that morning and I was like, all of this support was like raining in. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know, I think what really came to me was like, I think a lot of people felt like it wasn't that it was me. And that's what I always wanted to clarify with people. I was like, it wasn't there was nothing special about me in that moment. I think a lot of people saw themselves in that moment. People that care about sneakers, whether you care because you came in it collecting or you care because you work in the industry, it felt like you were minimized in that moment. And I think a lot of people were like, nah, like we're allowed to have opinions.
We take up space.
Because
we are allowed to have an opinion.
There's
100%.
so many opinions out there.
So many.
In the comments, sneaker Twitter's the most opinionated of them all.
Man.
You know? So like you hear it all the fucking time. And we see it all the time.
I mean, people have opinions about us. People hate us.
Oh, God.
Too, you know? And
I mean,
we see
same.
that as
I mean,
well.
I mean, you know, when
Honestly,
you're
we hear
speaking
some
our shit,
opinions about being.
you know,
Unfortunately,
you know, you're gonna hear opinions, and I said, but
And
I
we
say,
know.
I always tell people, and that's, you know, I had the privilege of working with a very controversial creative, but one of the lines is right. You know, I'd be worried if they said nothing.
Yeah,
Right.
Absolutely.
I'd be worried if they said nothing, right? And I tell people all the time, I'm like, if I take time out of my day, because I get up at 5 a.m. and I film, right? If I take time to film, edit this, it's because whatever you're doing actually fucking matters in the first place.
Yes.
And if I didn't care enough to give you feedback, it didn't matter.
It didn't do anything. Exactly.
Y'all didn't talk about it.
Exactly.
It didn't matter. So if anything, you should take into account like, oh, I must be doing something.
Right.
Good. Yeah.
Right?
You would, especially since he's so talking about how long he's been in this and his community and whatnot and being into sneakers, like you would want the sneaker community to talk about this shit.
Yeah.
And we did we even really talk about it when they were coming out aside from ComplexCon?
Briefly.
Yeah, because
think
I
we
don't.
did briefly.
I'll
I'll say
with
this.
you. That
I
shit
thought
is
the
simple.
campaign was cute as far as like
I thought the campaign was dope.
The campaign was fire. Too bad the product didn't match it, but I mean we've seen that
The
consistently
quality did
lately.
look
But
nice when we seen him at ComplexCon. It looked like it was decent quality. I haven't.
and I
fully had
understood
them
what
in
he was
hand,
saying
but-
too about like it can be simple. It doesn't have to be
But I
crazy
think-
off rip.
I think one of the things, like, I don't know if it was in that Yachty video or if it was a different one that you've talked about a lot of, like, you know, back in the day, getting an Air Force One and being able to put that little your symbol on that heel, it meant something. But it feels like Nike's just passing them out left and right.
Yeah.
And it takes away that special feeling. And I know people are like, oh, special feeling, but it does. You know, certain shoes resonate with you for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, it's a little bit tiring of just like a plain white Air Force One.
We've
with
been getting
a logo
so
on the
many
heel.
of them.
that were
also
very
matters.
limited to begin with from the beginning. I know they ended up doing a sneakers release, correct? Like
I don't even know.
I believe they had more of like a bigger release after that. But regardless, it's like to your point, what was this supposed to do? Like, how were y'all gonna like even receive it? And even the fact that you talked about it, to your point, it's like, yeah, this matters. This is why I'm speaking on it. But just because it matters doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hopefully the next time you will have something that's really good.
I'm sure
And hopefully
there's
it's
plenty of people who
yours.
did like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that it's his next time.
Yeah.
I don't need a concrete board.
Yeah,
I
because
don't know who the fuck they
baby,
are.
you can't even keep concrete boys together. Like
true, but
somebody
we're not getting
left.
into that,
Like
though. But I do want to talk about your guys' live.
Oh yes.
Because we have thoughts about it too.
Oh yeah, we have talked about it a little bit, but I want to hear. Yeah. How did it? I mean, you had told me earlier about let the people know how this even came about.
Yeah, I mean, so, obviously there was a couple of days. There's like 3 days, right? So
yeah,
thing happened on Saturday.
It was quick.
Yeah.
The thing
and I'm
happened
sure
on
Nike was
Saturday.
scrambling.
There was a day where
Nike was definitely scrambling.
There was an aftermath day, right?
Yeah. Everyone was
a day,
recovering.
we were all recovering. But on that day in particular, a lot of folks were just like reaching out, supporting. Phone calls were made just to kind of get a temperature where I was at. And then there was a lot of the calls that were like, you gonna respond? I'm gonna just tell y'all now. I have a friend. I got this group chat, and one of my friends, I was like, dog, if I was like a really like one of these big like creators and had like a team and all this stuff, you would not be on my crisis management team.
I'm dead.
The stuff, the ideas he was giving me, I was like, bro, that's terrible.
That's
dog.
a horrible idea.
These are horrible. I was like, bro, you just gonna charge up the situation.
Yeah.
I think what gets lost and why I also wanted to come on here and sit with y'all. Well, one, because like genuinely, I love what y'all do, and I'm glad y'all are here, and I'm glad your voices are here. But the other thing is like, I do 55-second takes, right? And so you can't get the sense of a person in 55 seconds.
At all.
You know what I mean? And so I think a lot of times what gets lost on people is like, don't read into too much in 55 seconds.
Right.
I haven't expanded on.
We talk about this so much.
Our reels. People never watch the full episodes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Context is important,
Yes.
right? It's extremely important. And so like when the opportunity come here and think about like, okay, so how am I going to respond to this? And the thing that I was like, is like, I don't go out of my way to share these takes because people think I'm trying to build myself and my platform. I literally have said from day one, what I care about the most is I want to inform the next marketer, collab marketer that's coming up. These 18, 20 somethings that hit me, DM me all day long. I'm giving them information that they, one, can't get from their professor. Two, they can't get from anywhere else online. And three, my colleagues that work in the industry don't have the time or don't give a fuck to give them the information.
Right.
Yeah. It's a lot of learned stuff.
Yeah.
It's stuff that they would never get. And so I'm like, I'm just going to give you these snacks, and over time you can pull it together with your traditional marketing background, and you can come in this industry and make an impact. And so when I give this information, I think a lot of people take it too personal, because I'm like, yo, if I don't tell them this, they're going to think what you did makes sense, and they're going to come in and they're going to fall on their face because it didn't make sense. And no one said anything about that. So with the response, I was like, I need to show who I am from a character standpoint. And I could have come back with full bravado, which is what a lot of people wanted. They wanted me to pull receipts. They wanted me to like completely like shred in my response. And I said, the most important thing to me in my response is at the end of the day, like, yeah, I got a couple followers online, but at the end of the day, I'm still a professional.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's my resume. My resume is, all decade plus, Nike, Adidas, Saucony, doing whatever. Like, I was running 50 million globally for Saucony when I was 29. You know what I mean? So I'm really about the work. I'm like, I'm not here for the gossip. And so I thought it was important to do that. And also, like, I'm still connected with a lot of my mentors from when I got in to now, and they was hitting me, and I was like, these are still the people that I represent and I need to make proud, And so when I did the response, I was like, I wanted to be important that I wanted Yachty to know that from the beginning, I was never trying to drag him down.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if he just took 2 seconds to just unpack what I said, I think he would have realized that, yeah, I got your attention, and then I gave you information that apparently no one else in the circle decided to give you. And so when I responded, I was like, that's all I was saying to you, bro. Like, I wasn't coming from this like left field place to trying to hate on your line.
Yeah, but I think the main thing is in that when you do these, like, you're not attacking people's character
at all.
You're attacking the marketing.
The product.
I never say anything about.
Absolutely.
I literally talk about the product and the marketing.
Yeah,
and that's where I was going to go to.
Personal, like it's a character thing, and it's not.
It's not at all. And but like, we do this clearly. Yeah. But like, when I look at Bimma's content, I don't see it as like this nigga's tearing niggas down. Do I think you're telling the truth? Do I think people not like to hear the truth sometimes? Yes. Sure, but we deal with this all the time too. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's hard. Like, emotionally, I think we all have had our moments, especially this year, where we have been even kind of hurt because we're like, that's not how we meant it, and that's not how we said it, but that's not up for us. How someone receives it, it's not up to us.
It's not up to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoes on here all the time. We talk about women's shoes on here all the time, and we've gotten
called
some
stupid
comments
so many times.
about,
oh my God,
about like people who've been behind the shoes, feeling like we were attacking them.
Oh yeah,
and
people like there are people at the brands who don't like us. We have people at the brands who like us too.
Yep.
But like,
y'all aren't alone.
Yeah. I think one of the points to be made is like when you tell Yachty, I wasn't trying to, diminish you as a person. I'm trying to help you out in a sense. And it can come off as like you're just hating. But one of the things, like I've said, I don't always agree with everything you say.
Yeah, and you shouldn't.
And I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I love the conversation you spark when you say those things. And I think one of the smarter things these people in marketing and these brands can do is sift through those comments and see what people are saying. If they agree, if they react.
So thank you for acknowledging the millions of dollars of information I give away.
That's like, if you want, like you, without, what are they called? Because the groups, you just did one.
Focus groups.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, what is that? I knew the name. I was right there. This is like a free focus group.
For free. Exactly.
Like literally, this is a focus group right here. Hundreds of comments.
Filled with people in the community.
And you can see what people are wanting,
culture.
needing, and like it's just, and I can see why people like would be upset. Like, this guy's just a hater. Because I was like, he is not talking about Nigo. I was like, don't come for Nigo. Don't talk about him.
You're so
but I'm gonna keep it a buck though. Sometimes, we all come from Black and brown families, and so I think the thing that also gets lost on some people is like, in my family, if you think how I speak is childish.
Oh yes.
Don't come home for Christmas.
Right.
And don't play spades or dominoes or any game, because the insults are fucking insane.
Yeah.
From my aunts who are 70.
And it's with love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's with love. And it's with love. That's the craziest part about it.
What do you mean?
A little bit of tough love.
It's from love, but it's like as soon as you get on the internet, it's like all hands are off. You know what I mean?
Like,
you got so many keyboard warriors that want to like do their thing, but that I do want to talk about really quickly. A lot of you people that are at the brands, I feel like you play favorites with certain people, and you sometimes don't like to hear the messenger because of the person that's delivering the message. And the message could have everything to do with the facts and 100% like lead back to where it's actually rooted from, right? Everything could be right, but it's the messenger at the end of the day sometimes. And I'm so sorry. It's true. Like,
I agree.
Certain people don't like certain people, whether they have all the information or not. And we need to talk about that because there are people at the brands that play favorites when it comes to this shit, especially when it comes to this space of us, whether you're getting seated, whether you're getting opportunity, whether you're, getting FaceTime, whatever. It depends on if a person likes you sometimes. And let's be all the way honest about it, because I see it happen time and time again, because there's people in this culture that are making content similar to ours who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, that are getting lots of views, lots of engagement, lots of likes because of certain aspects that maybe resonate with somebody else, even though the things that they are being given to them are actually helping a brand to move forward, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because you can't, like brands, you can't just have yes men around you.
Exactly.
You don't grow in that area.
Yeah.
Like, you stay stunted by just people just agreeing with everything. Like,
And that's how I felt about like in the last few years when like a lot of women products were getting pushed and they were seeding shit out to women, or they were like getting women on these campaigns and stuff, but they were not true like sneaker women to like fully flesh out like the story that is behind certain shoes. And I've always had an issue with that, because like they'll get the cookie cutter women out
Somebody
there.
who's good for the image. Yeah.
And it's not fair. And
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You sparked a thought, because I face this, and one of the things is like, specifically it comes from critique from other Black men to me, and the critique is usually, well, anyone Black doing something, you should be happy for them, and I wonder how do you feel if, do other people come at y'all with, women that identify or folks that identify as women, if you say something about them that you somehow not building up women or you're not supporting them? Because I will say for me, what I feel is that I would feel like I'm doing even more detriment to another black man if I see you go outside with a booger and I don't tell you that you got the booger. Yeah. Right. Every time I think I was like, bro, you got a booger.
Yeah.
Let me help you. That's how I feel about ashy hands. I'm like, here's some lotion, please.
Like, that's how I see it. That's as simple.
Your lace is showing, girl. The lace.
Okay, yeah, no, I feel like we're 3 different women on here. We have 3 different opinions. We have 3 different styles. We won't be for everybody. And obviously that's okay. We haven't gone into it with too many other women. I'm sure there are women who don't really fuck with us.
Oh, yeah.
I know for sure there are women who
I know at least of a couple.
Now.
Imagine hating me and I'm just laying here with my dog.
No,
yeah.
The little me.
Yes. But that's okay, but I also feel like we've done so much good individually, and then coming on here and doing this together has really shown a lot of women too that we can have voices in this. One of my favorite people and my inspiration has always been Jazzy, right? Because she's always been outspoken. And when I was when I was coming up and I was still navigating through this space, she was so outspoken, and I was like, wow, oh, I want to be just like her. I don't want to ever shut my mouth about anything that's going on out here because it's needed. And at that time, there definitely wasn't that many women out there. That's why I started doing YouTube and stuff too, and doing grade school reviews, because there wasn't a lot of women out there.
Yeah.
Obviously that's different because it's so time consuming. So I fell off, but I've still never strayed from that path of speaking my mind about things. And I know neither of us are, especially Henny, obviously she's been crying on the internet before. Yeah. So we've all dealt with that, we've all been outspoken, and that's what makes this work too. As much as the hate, as some brands may hate us, some people at the brands may hate us, you need us.
It's honest. Okay. It's honest because if no one's being honest in the marketplace, right? There was a whole fashion article that came out from this writer at Hypebeast, and it spoke about how if everyone is getting paid by the brand to tell one narrative, and no one's allowed to tell just their narrative about it, then no one can be honest or see why it's flat, or why it's falling, because we just kept puffing air and smoke. You know what I mean? And also, quick shout out to Jazzy. She was one of the first guests on my podcast in 2020.
I love that.
We did it digitally. I sent her a brief, and I was like, it was just a shot, and she's like, I'll do it. I was like,
we want to get her on one of these days. It honestly helped. This is the time when I was working at Mag, still a consignment shop out here, and it was just the managers in the shop, and literally the podcast helped me get through our freaking long ass days doing inventory and shit. Oh my God.
But I want to say, I swear I just seen that she had said she just had brain surgery or something crazy.
I did.
So I hope she's doing well.
Yeah, praying for her.
She did reach out to me earlier too. So I hope she's doing well though too.
Yeah, I seen her post that the other day, and I followed Jazzy for a longer time, but I was never close to her. There's conversation and passing.
Always was aware of her Kicks on Fire days and stuff.
I mean, absolutely. Her wedding dress, was she in the De La?
The De La Souls,
yeah. She's always been that girl.
She's definitely a pioneer that doesn't get half the respect that she deserves. Yes. I will say that about Jazzy.
She's the truth. Always
she's had her own shoe too with Reebok.
Yeah, she did have her own shoe.
Absolutely. She definitely has.
She deserves to have more than that.
No facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're in a different space now compared to when that shoe came out. You know what I mean? It's I'll have a question for you.
Okay.
So I feel like, and we talk about this often too. So when we think about Gen Z and we think about how they're supposed to carry on the culture, and we think about the information they have access to, kind of like someone coming to your page and trying to really get insights. How do you see things in the future for Gen Z carrying this? Because I feel like us as millennials have been carrying this for decade after decade, and it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. And it's always about handing the torch over to someone else. And it's like I don't see that like happening.
Yeah. I think it's so funny. There was an executive that reached out to me this week, and a lot of people have sent me this same video. And I'm forgetting homie's name, but I think he's from Louisiana as well. And he was like, once, millennial sneakerheads fall back, he's like, sneaker culture will be done.
Yeah.
I feel like
And a lot of people are sending that to me, but it's coming from, I've never received it from a Gen Zer. I've only received it from older generations. Here's what I'll tell you. To a lot of people's surprise, my 40% of my audience is 25 to 34.
Okay.
The second biggest group in my audience is 18 to 24, and that's 25%.
Nice.
So what that tells me is that maybe there's a certain thing that they are looking for.
Okay.
And perhaps the brands aren't offering them what they're looking for.
Okay.
The second thing I will say is that you're talking about an audience base that has also seen and lived through what we have experienced. I believe that they are just fatigued on that. That's also why I believe Asics and New Balance are having a crazy run right now, because to them, it's new. And also to the people that are older than them, we're like, oh, that really wasn't our thing. And I think they're so adjacent or like just anti that they're like, well, cool, we gonna fuck with this because y'all didn't fuck with it.
Right.
And so I think what's happening right now is a lot of people don't have a reference for how to deal with the fact that they are moving differently. Do I think it's going to die? I think a version of it's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like I do think that's true. But it's the same thing that I challenge when the quote, everyone wanted to popularize Virgil's quote about streetwear is dead or gonna die, whatever the quote was. And I said, streetwear can't die. It's a mentality. And it's a mentality that comes from impoverished communities, right? That's where streetwear started. And so we always going to figure out how to hustle and make it, right? Everybody's going to make a t-shirt. Always, if I can sell, I'm going to sell a t-shirt, I'm going to sell a bottle of water, I'm going to sell something. You know what I'm saying? And so I think with this generation coming up, they just showing you they're going to do it differently.
True.
That's
That
all.
is true. That's a good perspective.
They're just going to do it differently,
True.
but it's going to take some work.
It is.
It's gonna be a different path.
It's a different game.
Because Gen Z jumped like head first into the DH gate fake shit.
That's where I was going with
Which
this.
is wild.
Because I feel like
That's
seriously feel like they pour more into the fake culture than
Mm-hmm.
they do to the actual things that are coming from retail, if that makes any sense.
Think about, I think there's an audience of them who is leading them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not doing this independently. There's someone
Tripping.
there's a couple leaders that are
Tripping's
showing
one of them.
that are highlighting these things, and for them, like that's what happened to us. Think about it. Whomever was, just a little bit above that we aspired or thought that they were cool, we would listen and get into what they said. And so if they have somebody that's a little bit older that's popularizing that,
They
of course,
really
that's
do.
what they're doing.
But it's just so crazy because we would have got flamed
Oh,
so
look,
bad.
bad. Like to the point we might have been just considering, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. These niggas is lighting me up.
Oh my God.
No, you know what I'm talking about. You know how we got flamed. We got flamed for not having the right shoes.
I mean,
Yeah.
So if we come in with fake ones,
Bullying culture
Come
was
on.
different
Yeah,
back
it was
then.
different.
That's for
Man.
sure.
It was different.
Yes. I want to get into your collab of the year.
Yeah, because
Roll out.
Was this something you already had in mind prior to the ComplexCon thing, or was this something afterthought of like I should put out my own?
I knew I was going to do a collab of the year mid-year
Okay.
when after the response, when I did my response to Complex's Power Collaborators list.
okay.
Because I saw
Yeah.
the type of response that I got was stupid. I had like 4,000 comments.
Oh shit.
Your
I
engagement.
averaged like,
Your engagement is crazy.
like I was like, this is unusual.
Yeah, this is off.
I was like, this is off.
Yeah. That's
But
a lot.
I think what I started to realize was like, I'm a marketer first, and specifically I'm a strategist first. And so what I'm trained to do, and I think this is good clarity for some people, I am trained to spot the gaps. That is just how my brain works. If I look at a campaign, if I look at anything, either I'm looking for what they like nailed. I'm like, oh damn, I can't can't spot no gaps. Or I just see these obvious things. And so when I did that, I was like, there's a gap. And so as the year progressed, the gaps started to express themselves.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so people are they don't like that. They don't like that hasn't changed. They don't like that women aren't a part of the conversation, right? They don't like that other people from the community aren't a part of the conversation. Or they don't like that only celebrities seem to be getting these spotlights, right? Or they don't like that the format is the same. Right? And so I, throughout the year, if anybody was really paying attention and really if they were really anal about what I was saying, you can start to catch that I've been sending signals for 6 months. For 6 months, I've been saying, this is not right.
No, I feel
it.
like, I not to interrupt you, but I feel like a lot of people we have talked to did say they feel like your content can be negative sometimes. And it feels like that. Like it kind of like, well, he hasn't said one good thing about a collab in a while. And I feel like that's probably like why you're like, I'm trying to make it apparent that there is something wrong right now.
Well, here's the thing, right? Can anyone, if I want to ask a question, compared to last year or years prior, would you rank this year in collabs better than last year or years prior?
No.
Okay. So am I a reflection of the marketplace or am I negative?
You're a reflection of the marketplace. I would say that. I would say that's true.
I feel like it may be just the way it come out, like the puns.
But also people also
but it's in good time.
But we know this firsthand. People lean into what they want to lean into. So like me and you, all of us can talk about something that like we hit all points, right?
Yeah.
And there's always going to be somebody in them comments, especially the reels that go viral. They're like, these bitches don't know what they're talking about. And we could be consistent 3 times with reels that are like booming. Like, okay, we got brand people in the insights now because they trying to like take some shit. But then the first minute that we say something that doesn't align or doesn't make sense or whatever, that's our brand. That's who we are. But even the things that were bigger than that for whatever the wrong reasons, it's never acknowledged.
But that's also platform. So that's also platform. So one thing somebody told me, they were like, just so you're aware, I think Instagram's pushing when you do a negative review.
I can see that.
Because what I'll have is like somebody will see it and they're like, bro, you didn't say nothing positive. I was like, did you see the last video I had the day before? And they're like, no, I didn't see that. And I was like, day before, I just gave Nike a bunch of props for this project. I gave, New Balance props for this project. I was like, homie did great. I was like, there's something to be said about you if you're only seeing negative content.
And everybody knows that people feed off of drama. They feed off of bullshit. It's a thing. It's a thing. Let's be honest. Like, that's why that whole Yachty shit blew the fuck up. Like, period.
Absolutely. People we're messy.
Yeah, we a little bit of mess.
And I think that's why a lot of people were also like, bummed out when it didn't continue to spill over.
Yeah.
But that was, so one of the things I just want to circle back on real quickly, because I know we had talked about it, but the thing that I really wanted to address in that was, I never received information from, I just want to clear up, I never received information from Nike Comms. No one from Nike Comms hit me.
Okay.
A lot, and I think a lot of times, because I'm in the industry, people think there's certain information that gets to me. A lot of times, and I do this on purpose, when it comes to the collaborators and even when it comes to the brands, I try to keep a distance on information. And even like, if, for example, if like Daniel, when Daniel comes from Kids and Immigrants, one of the things Daniel will tell you is like, I distanced from them during the whole launch because I didn't want information. I wanted to be objective. I didn't want to have an impression upon how I was going to deliver the information I was going to share. And so with the brands in particular, with the Nike situation, I didn't hear from them. What happened was Yachty reached out. He said, can we talk? After he saw my video, because I think I'd already doubled down, like it wasn't personal. So we chopped it up, and I said, hey, like, I know how this shit works, and we need to publicly
say something.
And I said, the other thing is that I already feel the type of way about what happened between you and I on Complex. I said, but we're not gonna do Complex to squash it. I say, especially two black men. I was like, I don't like that narrative. They don't need to host it. I was like, I don't like the narrative at all. And I was like, we need to show people that we can have disagreements and we can agree to disagree differently.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's do an IG live and let's say our piece. I know a lot of people feel different ways about how Yachty handled whatever. I just want to say my piece, and I was, and regardless of what the motive was, like, because I know there's different motives and business motives. I would say I am at peace with Yachty for taking the step to even acknowledge what happened, acknowledge the disagreement, and his apology, and moving forward. I know some people had challenges about a lot of that particular thing. But for me, I was good on it, because at the end of the day, I wanted to show that we are not just, we're gonna fight about it, and like this is entertainment, and let's hype it up, and you
This
can,
ain't loving hip hop.
I didn't lean into any of that stuff when we did the promos for Collab of the Year. Like, you know how many people hit me throughout the week because they started to realize what I was doing, and they were like, "Oh, is the video on Friday? You gonna be you smashing concrete?" And I was like, "Nah."
Oh my
I was
god.
like, "No." I was like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
It's
not
already
my
been
brand.
done.
I feel like
It's already happened.
It's really easy for all of us when you see something from the outside, have our opinion, but none of us know what really goes on behind closed doors and behind the scenes. And I think as long as you were okay with the thing with you and Yachty, and you had your apology, then that's all that matters, because you were the only one that was slighted in that room.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
directed towards you.
And
Regardless
I
of how
always
he was
said-
persuaded.
Yeah, I always said, like, and again, like, I saw the comments about like what Nike might have done, and I don't know what Nike might have done, but
We just
I
heard
will
his
say,
end, on
but
his
you know,
end.
like sometimes I like to be spicy, but they probably did.
We believe I would say they persuaded him. He is talent at the end of the day, and he is a representation of them, of that brand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But for the other thing was like, it just, you could see how it could get crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And like some of the messages I was getting about people like, yo, I'm booking flights. And I'm like, nope, we're not. No, you're not. I was
Please
like,
don't.
we're not doing anything.
What do you mean? No, you're not.
We're doing nothing. This is a nothing thing.
Yeah.
And also, I'm me. I'm good. I will walk anywhere. Me, I'm good. Like I don't need none of that stuff. And so it was just like, I was like, I'm deading this immediately. For it just didn't make sense. It just felt like a distraction.
Yeah.
You know. So but that, and then going into this, like, no, I always wanted to do Collab of the
I
Year.
love that. I mean, it's very fitting.
And I think y'all get it. Like I'm just very fucking passionate about it.
No, we can tell.
We saw all the rollout, the marketing behind it.
Absolutely. Your marketing end on it was very creative.
Yeah, it
and
was
fun. And
I loved it.
It wanted to bring people in, and telling people like drop collab in the comments. Like if you want the link, I think that was very.
The engagement was crazy. I saw so many people in the comments.
People want it
every day because to keep that up, because you've been doing it all week.
I've been doing it
all week, and it's been consistent every week. Each post has like done so well.
It's been insane. I mean, I think it's like it's nearing like 9,000 comments in the last 5 days.
Yeah, that's insane.
I think something like this is also very important because we all have. We did it when we recorded last week our own personal sneaker of the years that may not align with everybody else's, and that's the beauty of being an individual and having your own style.
Yeah.
But I think we often forget, because ComplexCon is such a big deal, that like their sneaker of the year panel is not the say all of sneakers, and it's really cool when you have like for let's say like Nice Kicks doing something like that, you doing your own collab, us just having our own little
conversation.
Everybody else,
It ain't little.
Thank you. I downplay myself a lot. Thank you. I needed that. Thank you. I do that all the time, and I need to stop.
Thank you, guys.
But exactly, and I think it often gets lost in translation when you have bigger platforms like that everyone relies on. But it's like Sneaker of the Year is supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
and I think that
subjective.
And I thought that was kind of the personal issue with it too, because it's like, granted, we've all been watching Sneaker of the Year for a while now, and also them on like their network, so watching Full Size Run like we were talking about earlier and stuff. But as far as it has went over the years, to see like a woman not being on there this year, and then also like we got Joe, Brendan, and Welty on the stage. And I'm not trying to take anything away from either of you all, because first of all, I love Brendan Dune. Let me just say that, because I think he is so funny and I think he is so smart. I think Welty is also educated, and I think Joe LaPuma is a hard worker. But do we need three of you on the stage with also PJ Tucker, who is rich as fuck, and Little Yachty, who is like thinks he knows more than he knows. It's not very what's the word I'm looking for? It's not broad for a conversation. And I feel like with a conversation like that, you need a little bit more depth. And I'm not trying to say that none of those people deserve to be on that stage, but those people all together for one conversation was very one-sided in my opinion.
And to piggyback off of that, it's 2024. Like, sneakers has progressed so much in the past, like, 10 years. For when ComplexCon even started and when they started doing the panel, in, I think they said 8 or 7 years ago. Because even the women that they've had on the panel before,
same girls.
It's been the same girls. And I said on when we came back from ComplexCon, like, the Vashities and the Lalies can't be our warriors every single time.
They cannot.
I know they're tired of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want Yoon on the panel.
I don't think that'll ever happen. But Yoon. I'm thinking of the CPFM girl.
Oh
yeah,
no.
Cynthia don't show her face. Cynthia do not show her face.
Yoon would actually be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, Yoon is cool.
But I feel like because it's been so progressive, yes, you like. Who the hell in that office said we didn't need a woman? Didn't reach out to any women? And if they did, what women did you guys reach out to? Write us if we're wrong. But it's like sneakers is so in a different space right now. There's a lot more women, especially during the pandemic, that have made their voice louder. Not just us, but just like a lot of women.
Other women, for sure.
I became friends with so many new sneaker women during the pandemic. It's crazy. And I love that. Because I feel like there wasn't that many prior, and I just wish they would have done better. And I still wish they would put people in the community. Because I think you mentioned before, they're not on the ground level.
Yeah.
They're not in the streets.
And we understand what Complex is at the end of the day. It's a media company that expands on culture, and that's where it's always been. But here's the thing, as the evolution has been with Complex, especially being owned by different like companies and stuff, I feel like a lot of like the grounds it was built on has been lost through the evolution.
Agreed.
And when I heard that, like, the way they get the list was voted between the people of the office. And let me tell you, I know this firsthand because, I've been unemployed for the last year and a half. I applied for so many complex jobs over the last year and a half. Nobody would give me, even Brendan had my resume sent to people. He went out his way. People hit me back. Oh, well, we just don't think you have enough experience here. And we don't think you have enough experience there. And whatever the fuck else. And my resume speaks for itself. And my portfolio speaks for itself because I've been doing this shit like from the industry level and from the community level for decades. And to hear, no shade, white people who have nothing to do with anything tell me I'm not qualified is fucking insane. And then those are the same people making this list. And that's why that list was not shit. And a lot of people were like, this doesn't make sense because y'all niggas really ain't outside on the ground.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that.
I know. So we appreciate
one thing I will say about just listening in general. I mean, you already addressed it. It's personal. It's subjective. It's your list. But the other thing that I really want to say to my peers, you all in this community, y'all, let me stop saying you all. I know where I'm from South. Is I think all of us are the most important part of the community.
I agree.
And I think all of us should really think about the power that we have in our voices in our communities, especially when we come together. Without these voices, there's no community. And I think we can't, I know like a lot of these platforms exist, but I think we also have to be aware that like, I mean, y'all make sneaker Twitter. You know what I mean? Like y'all make sneaker Instagram or whatever the communities are. And I think that's the true list. That's the true information that matters the most. And I think everything else is like, cool, it exists. But like to me, I'm like, that's what, at least for me, I'm like, I want to know what y'all thinking. I want to know what they like. That's where I'm at. That's where I get my information from.
And we appreciate that. We appreciate being a part of the collab of the year stuff.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
it was fun. Like y'all, I was like, because I was like, as I was building and putting together, I was like, I don't know how this gonna work. I don't know how we get to 30 minutes. I don't know how we gonna get it.
It happened.
And seeing everyone else's picks too. I was wondering who,
I was gonna say,
because we didn't know.
So, and that's what I wanted to clarify is that I think I wanted to make sure it was clear, like this was a list through my perspective, but I didn't I wanted to be clear that this wasn't necessarily all of y'all's favorite picks. This was y'all's commentary on the list that I pulled together. And so that's why, like, y'all still going to come out with lists of your own. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what's important for people to understand was, like, I asked y'all to tell me what was y'all's experience around these picks this year. And so that's what, you know, a lot of folks did. And, like, even with, you know, Seth, when it came to, it was so funny. I was like, Seth, you live in Atlanta? And he was like, yeah, I live in Atlanta. And he was like, it's like, I don't really like the Travis Scott Jordan Jumpman Jacks. And I said, Seth, have you seen my content? I said, I ain't asking you to like it.
Right. Like, no one said that you got to do that. Like, no one said you got to like it.
I said, give your honest take on it. I was like, because the point of it is for, like, I have a point of view and y'all have points of views. And that was the whole point of the list was like, this is my version.
Yeah.
Like, it's not law. It's not any of that. Like,
you can say what you want. Yeah.
But I thought it was so dope. And so, you know, the way I thought about it, I was like, this is like an album. And these are the features.
Yeah, I love that.
So it was fun. It's been a fun experience. I had a blast creating the content and just, you know, poking at stuff and pulling. You know, part of that was just paying homage to things from this year that I thought were inspiring.
Yeah, I think it's something that a lot of us are going to be looking forward to next year as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to see what y'all gonna come up with stuff too. Like other people are gonna come up with stuff because of this, you know. And like, I think we're gonna start to see stuff where we all can, like, you know, I call it like the sneaker universe. We're gonna be popping in different things, you know.
Well, because there wasn't any women on the panel, like everyone kind of came up to us and was like, you guys need to do your own. I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, I can't wait to see, like, you know, next year, and I hope let's speak it into existence. Like, you know, women-led sneaker events. And, like, you know, that doesn't mean that, you know, men or other identities can't come.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
and that's what we always try to, like, put out there, because I think a lot of people think just because, like, we're women that we just try to cater to women. No, we have voices for women. Don't get it fucked up. But, like, even when we do our events, like, we have a whole group chat with men that have been in this community longer than us, and we really appreciate them, and we really come to them for knowledge. Like the things that Damien and Matt alone tell us and put us on that we didn't get to experience because we weren't old enough to understand. Like, it's so important. So, like, it has never been a girls club and men aren't allowed. It's men that were attacking us because we've always been open arms to everybody. It's the church over here, baby. Like, everybody accepted.
Exactly.
It's just certain men that don't like the idea of us having bigger voices maybe than themselves that are traveling. That's what I think. I think a lot of people bring their ego into things, and instead of, like, taking your ego outside yourself, you should just, like, be open to the conversation and moving it forward versus, like, well, I've been here longer than you and you don't know shit and whatever may have you. None of that shit matters. That got everything to do with you and not to do with us. And that's how I see it.
But I think it just, like, a lot of people don't know how to place both things to exist at the same time. It's like, it's not just black or white.
Because multiple things can exist in the same space all the time.
There's so much, like, intersectionality within sneakers and so many other planes that it's just, it can touch so many areas, and it's like not everyone is right here.
Exactly. And that's okay. Like, y'all need to start being okay with the fact that so many things can exist in one space. Because y'all be acting like it has to be this, and this, and it don't go no other way. It don't work like that, bruh. Nothing is black and white. Nothing. So, like, man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of Kari. I know niggas get Kari lots of shit. Cause they be like, Kari, you know about. No, I'm proud of you, Kari, because you know what? You get a lot more negative feedback than even us. And you still get up on that goddamn computer every day and you go in there and you do what needs to be fucking done. Anybody out there that's getting up every fucking day and putting in real fucking work, I commend you, because this shit is not easy. And then you don't let people stop you who are talking shit about you. You move past it because it's bigger than me. It's bigger than him. It's bigger than everybody. It's you gotta take your ego out this shit, bruh. So, like, seriously, I'm proud of everybody in this space. I'm proud of everyone in this space.
Henny be over here. I'm like, when you doing a TED Talk?
I know. When Henny gets going, it gets
Yeah,
I'll be a little passionate though. I'm sorry.
No, you don't know. But that's the thing. That's the stuff that frustrates me. Never apologize for being passionate.
That part.
You're right.
Never.
You're right.
There's no. I'm sorry. Like the people that's insecure because you're passionate, stay out the way.
Stay out the way. Get the
Just
fuck
stay
out our
the
way. Move.
Sorry.
Get out the way. Yeah.
Well, since we are at the end of the year, are there anything that you can talk about coming in 2025?
I know you said you're going on break after this.
Yeah, but like I know you got stuff cooking.
What I
still.
should share is that next year is going to be interesting for me. I'm going to continue to do Collab Lab. I'm excited about that, but also I'm back in my strategy bag, active, not just educator wise. I'm player coach. I'll be looking after collab strategy for Skull Candy next year.
Nice. That's amazing.
Skull
Congratulations.
Candy, they had a collab with Jordan Brand in 2012.
Wow.
Which makes sense. I feel like at that time,
and 3s.
That's crazy. Where's my phone? I'm looking this up.
So it's like, I'm excited
Are they black
about the opportunity. So I get to, work with them and like kind of bring, I'm like, I get to be, I'm not the collaborator. I get to be working with collaborators. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that. And then there's some other stuff that I'm thinking about for 2025 that I can't share yet, but that I can share. But like I was like, this is so it looks like 2012.
It does. It absolutely does. The headphones are lit.
Everything had elephant print on it.
And that's the aviator.
everything.
That's the
Gotta
aviator
love it.
model by Skull Candy. I was just like,
Gotta
wait.
love it.
I was like, what with Jordan?
That's a really dope pack.
That is really cool.
With the
I love
shoes,
that.
too.
So I was like, this is wild to me. So
I
when
definitely
saw
wasn't
that,
paying attention to this back then.
but I was like, it for me, like what made sense was like, okay, this has an actual cultural connection to me authentically.
Yeah.
And I was
do.
like, this,
Skull
I
candies
could
are
get behind
definitely-
this.
I love
This looks like something DJ Khaled would do with a 3 and Beats.
right.
Like these days,
yeah,
like if you were
it
to do
does
nowadays,
kinda give
you know what I'm
that,
saying?
yeah.
Like the Beats headphones with like a DJ Khaled, like that. I don't know why I'm just thinking of that
Yeah,
specific
yeah.
with like the music tie, but
Or like Justin Timberlake performing at the Super Bowl and he has like
I'm
the headphones on or some shit. Like, you know what I'm talking
I know what
about.
you're
Like,
talking about.
it's like
Oh,
inserting it
wow.
that
It's
way.
crazy. Look at that. Those.
Wow.
wow.
It was just. It was a wild time.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember that
Like-
time. That's crazy.
They was over
Sevens,
cooking.
like what?
Yeah, that is wild because
Wow. And for
I've
the love of
never
the
honestly
games,
really
too.
heard anyone I've never heard anyone talk about
But this was the time
Me
when we
either.
weren't even talking about collabs
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
I mean, the
who
internet
was
was
talking
different.
about collabs
yeah.
in like 12? Like it wasn't like what it
As
is now.
much now, yeah.
You know?
I don't feel like that shit really popped off until like the Ricardo T-Ski days. Like once we saw Ricardo
Oh
T-Ski,
my
that's when
God,
shit really started to
yes.
like go up. Because I remember that particular collab with all those Air Forces, that was a moment. And from there, it was like boom, boom,
Everyone
boom,
gets wet.
boom,
Everyone gets
boom. It hasn't been
Yeah,
the
you
same
can be very
since.
So everybody
confident,
gets wet.
yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what
Yeah.
it is. Right? I
That's
mean, we
really
talked
how it
about
feels.
this earlier this
You
year
get a
that
collab, you
everyone
get a
has a fucking
collab.
collab right now.
Yeah.
Y'all need to fucking chill.
Yeah.
My word.
Like it's exciting and it's really great to see the artists and the people and the things that we love integrated into sneakers because we clearly all love sneakers, but it's very overwhelming.
It is.
it
It
overshadows the GR stuff.
It does. And
there's
that's
a lot of good GR stuff. We did a whole episode earlier.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good
mid-year,
GR.
And we
Yeah.
talked
A
about all
lot.
the GR shit that's like super fire.
That's
That,
singing now, too.
you know, and people
Especially
don't
the-
even bat an eye.
I just want to say this real quick because I'm about to be an Air Max 180 girl next year. So many good Air Max 180s this year. Dude, there was this Baltic blue pair with the yellow swoosh that just came out. And I'm like, nigga, this shit is fire. Like, I'm about to be in my
on the
180 bag
showcase. Was it on the
crazy.
showcase?
No, it wasn't in the showcase.
Oh, we didn't even
act-
talk about the
I
showcase.
think they were. I think they were launched through End, but like but they're like in a lot of different places though. But like, dude, like just shoes like that. Like when we think about those silhouettes and the color play you can do with those, just from a GR standpoint, fire. Like
Speaking of
fire.
End, they had this collab with Saucony, the Nessies. Oh, I've been trying to get
I think
my
you talked about that.
fucking
The first time
hands
was
on them.
like the Loch Ness monster.
Oh my god! Yes, it's so cool. It's one of my favorite like mythical creatures, whatever. But they're so cool. And I ordered a pair, and they fucking got canceled because like I guess they. I don't know. Maybe they sold out because they popped. My size popped back up randomly. I was like, "Fuck, let me get it now." And then it got canceled. I was like, Oh my God. But if anyone has one out there, please let me know. I'm size 6, men's.
Yes.
Okay.
But I know we're coming up on a pretty long episode, and we're so happy you've been here. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any questions for us?
Oh my goodness.
No pressure.
Yeah.
No, I guess for y'all, like, you know, it's been a first full year,
Yeah.
right? I guess the big question for me is like, you know, is it what y'all thought it would be?
No,
No, not at all.
not at all.
Not at all.
I don't really think I had expectations for what this was gonna come to.
Yeah.
But we obviously had like hopes, and it was cool thinking like, oh, we're gonna do this. But
We definitely felt positive about it because we all had our own name out here individually. So we knew that we would get at least a certain consumer that would come and fuck with us. But it took some drama and some bigger names to, like it does with anybody, to get our name going, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But as little things like that have happened, I have seen like more of the vision of what this can actually be, if that makes any sense. I just wish it wasn't so combative at times.
yeah, I
That's
agree with
what
that.
I wish.
I think that's something I definitely didn't expect at all either, was that. Like,
Because I feel like, so for instance, like you getting into it with Yachty at the ComplexCon, everyone was expecting us to get into it with people. So
literally,
so
no,
dead
as soon
ass.
as we walked into ComplexCon, because like I gave you like the
Yeah,
the
you gave me
before
you gave me the context.
So we walk into ComplexCon Saturday.
Yeah.
First person we fucking see, Brendan. And he's like, how are you guys doing?
Like he was trying to feel it. He was like, "So are you guys gonna be fighting?" Like, basically,
He was also like,
are you guys good?
He was like, I need to get a picture with
we
you guys.
okay?
Yeah, everyone knows
And
what
then
side
he was
I'm
like,
on.
I support the women. So he posted us first thing Saturday. I'm with the women. I was
he's like, "I'm on this side, y'all."
You funny and you messy, and I like it.
Yes, but
the
A lot,
the
yeah.
whole weekend.
We
in the week leading up to
we love
ComplexCon,
Kari
we
to
had all
death,
the
but
the
Kari
Twitter
had tweeted
drama.
something
Yes.
Oh, Kari.
We love
did
Kari to death, but Kari had
He was-
tweeted something out upon our arrival and was like something about
He was
us.
like, oh, they got a
No one's
picture
gonna-
with
Yeah, he was like, no one's gonna say something to their face just what. And I was like, we're not coming in.
Like Kari, we ain't really gonna do that.
We came
Like,
for a
being
good
hostile,
time. We were
yeah.
not coming in for no beef. Like I understand shit was going down on Twitter like a few days leading up to that, but like
nobody.
I'm 35.
No.
Coming in peace.
And I know a lot of it came from me because the whole thing was this. It was like, try it if you want to. Because we're never looking for war, okay? Like, we come in peace, but I'm ready for war. I always come in peace because, baby, you never gonna fucking get one up on me. I'm gonna get that last word. And then, look, I'm in therapy, okay? I'm trying. But here's the thing. You come for my girls, because what really triggered me was when Marissa said that shit to you,
I told them.
I went somewhere else, because like Janelle's the baby of the pod, and she's also like the boss too at the same time. Because I don't like being the boss. I don't want to be a boss. So like when I see you come for my people that I love, like off rip, like you gonna get it.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, we really do come in peace, and we really ain't on no bullshit. But if you got it, so do I. And it's as simple
I've
as that.
never had beef with anybody in this space before, but it can be.
I don't think she had
Yeah.
beef with you. I think she had beef with your camel toe.
Oh yeah, that's what she said about it.
Ma'am.
We're not family
Why are you
oriented and we
looking
have
so
camel
hard?
toes.
I don't think it was you, Jen. I think it was your
And also,
And
baby,
our turkey.
you talking about we ain't family oriented, but I'm a mother.
She a mother.
I'm a mother. Something you aren't. So like before you start talking about family, baby, family looks different everywhere.
It does.
Family
definitely
isn't
true.
always what you think it is, because we are all, colored differently,
In
and
the clear,
we come.
we all fam.
We all firm. You feel me? So like, whatever your definition of family is, beautiful. Love that for you. But that doesn't mean that it has to
to be
attain to
ours.
us and be aligned with what we do. Because we also are family oriented too, just to the people who are our family. And it's as simple as that.
But to go back to your question, no, I don't think we did not have all these
Yeah,
expectations.
I know that was a lot.
Definitely not. I agree. We were very positive in this, but I think our main goal and focus was there's no women in the space that were consistent. And that was our main goal. As long as we were consistent, as long as we were pushing like our voices and being women in this space because our stories need to be told, then we were doing fine. I was totally fine with what we had going on and stuff. And then everything else on the back end has been amazing. Yeah. I was not expecting this past year that we've done it, and then full year has been insane. Especially since this is some of our full-time shit. So
and even just the people that we've got to have on the couch, including yourself.
I have some crazy guests.
Thank you.
I would have never imagined Marcus Jordan sitting on my couch.
I don't think I Nigel, oh my God.
There's been so many amazing people that we've gotten to get to know, and it's been
beautiful. Just the conversations. I think that has been the biggest takeaway. Just building relationships, but that's how we've always seen this community.
That's true.
It's relationship based.
Whether I like the opinion or not, we it's like family members. I don't agree with more than half of my family.
Exactly.
But I love them, and I know I have to speak to them, and I have a relationship with them, but I just want to kudos to y'all for, as someone who has started a podcast and run an independent podcast, I think it's lost on people how hard y'all have to work. And to do it independently, and to spend money out of your pocket, and to edit independently, and to coordinate guests and topics and subjects weekly. Y'all are doing a labor of love.
Thank you.
And I think the community is benefiting tremendously from having your voices. And I just hope y'all continue to be consistent, but also take care of yourselves, because I know it's a lot of energy, and you got other stuff and life going on. But it's just really dope to see the growth over the year, if I'm just being honest with you.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work. I know it's the reason why I don't have another podcast myself.
This don't work out, I'm done with podcasts.
After this,
And thank you for that, because within that year, I don't think a lot of people see the behind the scenes and how hard it can be. And honestly, a lot of stuff we've dealt with in our personal lives, each and every one of us has gone through some shit.
Some real shit this year.
And kept it consistent, kept pushing
forward. We're still here on this couch.
Showing face. And
I don't even live here, y'all, no more. I don't even live here, and I'm here. Okay?
We're
making it work.
So, but thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I'm glad.
This was really good.
Able to come down for us.
This was
and
dope.
It's so crazy because we didn't even actually get to get into your sneaker journey story.
I know.
So
You'll be back.
There'll be a part two. There will definitely be a part two. Because I wanted to even talk about your whole podcast when you were doing stuff internally with people.
Yeah.
With
literally,
that's a whole other thing.
Hold on. Let me hit her with a soundbite. You mean when I almost got fired?
Yeah. And look, man, let me tell you, and then we'll shut this off. But the whole, when I lost my job, everyone was expecting me oh, you're gonna go to Nike now, and that really was the plan. But this happened, and it was not possible, and I had to make an executive decision, and it has not been an easy one. But it's not always easy taking a higher road. And I told Elaina this last night when we were having just a conversation in general.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I took the road less traveled, but I am so happy that I did. Because I would have not had half the voice I have right now working at Nike. And look, who's to say it won't ever happen? You know what I mean? But I was willing to take a chance on all of us before just going somewhere where I don't even know if I was going to be happy. You know what I mean? Everyone just thought it was what I was supposed to do. Because even with that collective I was in, the whole point of the collective was towards the end, if you want to come work here, you can. And what a perfect time since I had just been laid off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But man, this is much more fulfilling. I will say that.
And that's, that's a part of it. I know we're wrapping up, but that was, my decision when I, was doing the work was that, I was deciding between a career at a brand and established brands. And even right now, a lot of because people just see my content, they don't look at the resume. If you're putting two and two together, I'm a VP of marketing anywhere right now, anywhere, And so I'm just giving that information away for free. Right. But there's a reason I'm not in those buildings. Yeah. And it's a lot that had to do with what you said. Fulfillment, being around family. All of the executives I know, they ain't never home.
At all.
Oh, yeah.
They make bread. Don't get me wrong. And we need bread because it's crazy out here. But I had to get real about what was important to me and how I wanted to spend time and where I wanted to be. And I knew that wasn't going in the direction that I wanted to go. And so, but we could talk about that another time.
We will. Definitely next time.
Part two.
Definitely next time.
Thank you so much, Bimma, for coming on. Go ahead and drop your @s if no one
let the people
by
know.
At Bimma Williams everywhere.
Everywhere except Twitter, apparently.
Except Twitter. I'm not gonna join y'all. I'll take the clip notes.
I am not going to that app.
I'm not going on there.
You don't want to be in that mess.
Boy, that app is in shambles.
Well, like I said, hopefully we're at 10K when this comes out. If not, we will still be on the road to 10K because it will be a few days shy of 2025. So go ahead and follow us on Sneaky Link
now
on Instagram. Yes. Okay, thank you. If you're following us on YouTube, actually, if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and follow us there. Hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe, please.
Audio platforms, Spotify and Apple Podcast, and we'll talk to you guys next year.
Yes. And this has been another episode of the Sneaky Leak podcast in the Collab Lab.
In the Collab Lab.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh man, that was great.